Hello everyone, how's it going? Welcome to the Intercontinental Combat Online Top 8 for EU West. This is another one of those intercontinental events, which means that if you win this, you qualify for the Intercontinental Finals at DreamHack Winter. And if you win the DreamHack Winter Finals, you make it into the Pro Competition Finals to represent Europe. Welcome to the stream. My name is Mustard, and commentating with me today is none other than Falcon. How's it going, dude?
Hey, man. It's going pretty well, I'm excited to be over here. We have an exciting top 8 that's going to happen real shortly as well, full of really good players, familiar names and players that we haven't seen much of before. And I'm just really excited to get this underway and, see who it is that's going to qualify for DreamHack Winter.
Yeah, I really think we have quite a stacked top 8 in front of us. It's like you said before, we have some familiar faces and some players that we haven't really seen much at all in kind of like the upper echelon of tournaments and competition. But definitely players we know have been capable of it for a while, and it's nice to see them kind of push themselves over to it. Just to show you who we have playing, we have in winner's side today is Dizzy TT versus Anasian. So right away, that's a familiar face versus a name that we really haven't seen much before in these online tournaments. And then following that will be the run back of last week's Pro Competition Online Grand Finals between Video Games Yo and Asada Matza. That's going to be one that I think we're all looking forward to seeing. And then down in the loser side, we have Stuntman Mike versus That Pro Stunner, and Juicy Joe versus Ort. So loser side is, I think, it'd be a bit more unpredictable. I think they're definitely names that we haven't seen really, again, make it to the further stages of competition, but we know that they are solid players, and it's not a surprise to see them here, but it is definitely the first time we've seen it for a few of them. Stuntman Mike, I know, had a good run through top 16. That Pro Stunner is a name we used to see all the time back in the Pro League days until he had to stop.
Forget the reptile.
Oh, for sure, for sure. That Pro Stunner used to be, before Happy Pal kind of burst into the scene. He kind of was the European reptile we would all see back in like year one and a half, I guess you could say, of MKX. Playing Baraka in this game is That Pro Stunner, so I'm sure we'll see some of that from him later on the loser side. And of course, Juicy Joe versus Ort. Now, that's going to be one that I think is going to be one of the hardest to predict, because it's a mixture of Ort is obviously a player that we've seen. Well, the younger guys from the UK, he comes from Scotland, has been traveling around as much as possible. He was at Celtic Throwdown. He's at all the UK tournaments he can pretty much get to. Shout outs to Orp's dad, Dad Orp, for driving him around the entire country to these events. Finally getting his stream top 8. I know he plays Dirtbag, Cassie, and I believe Sonya. And Juicy Joe is just this solid as a rock Jackie player that, again, anyone that has seen Juicy Joe play knows that he has a really good Jackie. We just haven't seen it on stream as much. So today is where that's going to change, I think.
So personally, I'm really excited to see Juicy Joe play, because I have never seen him play. And, the names that he's taken, the people that he beat to actually make it into top 8. If I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he beat Irish Mantis as well. And
yes, he did.
I'm really excited to watch, just how it is that he plays these games and what he chooses to do, because, I learned a lot from watching these players as well. And it was definitely it was not an easy route to get into this top 8. And our first match as well is going to be underway very shortly.
Yeah, so it looks like we have the players loading into the King of the Hill right now. It's Dizzy TT versus Anasian. So, and I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. I'm not sure if it's Anasian or if it's Anasian or whatever. But regardless, he's a solid new Cybot player. I've seen him myself in the online world. He's been in my stream a few times doing games here and there. But a big advocate for online play, is around a lot of the time. But of course, coming up against Dizzy TT, so he's got a bit of a mammoth game to start with. Obviously, Dizzy being a top 10 in the world kind of player, right, on the points leaderboard. Doing really well for himself in the pro competition, looking to get this intercontinental spot if he can, because you have to remember, that is what is on the line today. If you win this tournament, and only first place, if you win this tournament, you qualify for DreamHack Finals. If you win the DreamHack Finals, you are a qualifier into the pro competition finals when they happen later on. We'll be starting off. It's going to be Sonya with Dizzy against the Noob Cybot.
We did see an early breakaway as well on Dizzy's part. No defensive meters. And Dizzy likes to play very zone heavy, doesn't he? He likes to basically spam you with projectiles. He likes to keep his full screen game, but against Noob Saibot, is that really the wisest thing to do? And you're gonna see a Nation really just pulling out a lot of damage over here. He's about to close out this first round on Dizzy T in the corner as well.
That's not a bad start at all. You're gonna have him in the corner, of course. Not the greatest stage in the world for those corner interactables, but it can work out. There we go.
A lovely check on the low right there.
I like how he's opting to respect as well. He's not looking to constantly challenge the Ring Blast Amplify. If you've got the life lead, oh, the confirm on the crushing blow. I like how Anashian is playing so safe right now, right? He's not extending too much. He's not going for force blocks if it's not necessary. I say that they force blocks with hope.
Dizzy stuffing the up 2 wake up. Getting to keep Anashian towards the corner.
Oh, the low, but he doesn't get.
No confirm.
Unfortunately. Ooh. Oh, that big jump doesn't opt to go for the amplified version.
He's out of the corner. No last breath remaining. Oh, and that is going to be it into the fatal blow.
Wow, he just got it like that. That's absolutely going to do enough damage to kill. Nashian's going to be taking the first game on the back of that pretty much magic pixel fatal blow.
With a sliver of life, he managed to work his way out of the corner and then confirm the back 1 restand into the fatal blow, which is really clean. Simple and clever play from himself. But it's, I'm not sure whether Dizzy would want to stick with Sonya as well. Do you think that it's the best thing to do is his most comfortable character?
I think this definitely isn't a bad matchup for Sonya. I know kind of down through the grapevine, Noob Saibot players have said that they don't really like the Cassie matchup, and I know he does have a pocket Cassie, but it's a question of whether you think the pocket character is going to be enough to take out what is honestly, I think, a very comfortable noob. The big thing that we haven't mentioned so far that I think is really important here is Anashian is still playing Dark Sabbath, and is pretty much the only Noob Saibot player I think we've seen so far not make the change to seeing double. We have to remember, we may not have seen Dark Sabbath in a while, but this is the variation that he has the launching teleport. He gets the the air mobility, the sickle port, and if you are comfortable, this is still a solid variation, especially if you're looking to deal damage, which is something we definitely see in Aston.
Whereas seeing double is also just going to effectively just put you into explaining these zone, isn't it? It's just going to be about slides and reclasses. But I do think this variation is by no means a weak variation at all.
Oh, definitely not.
Combo potential is amazing, and it has a really easy conversion into the teleport. But Dizzy completely in control this round. He's got Nascent towards Fatal Blow territory.
Nothing is that Fatal Blow. Wow, the Hail Mary teleport! I mean, big risk, big reward, right? It did force the breakaway out of Dizzy. Oh, but he's going to get clipped by the low, and Dizzy's going to take the first round. Still, it's going to take some time for that defensive bar to come back, so if Nastin can open him up, it's going to do a lot of damage, but Dizzy having no reason to play dangerously. Oh, can he get clipped? I like that. Oh, wow, instant. Oh, wow, okay. Yeah, to air normal.
Oh, gets caught on the counter into the crushing blow. Oh, counter hit again. He's not going to spend the on the teleport, but it doesn't even matter. He's going to close out the round with a very clean confirm. Almost 300 damage, tying rounds up 1-1. Oh, the sickle port over, catches the jump.
That could have been huge as well. Getting that
the anti-air.
I like how Dizzy opted to use the breakaway on the second one, not the first, just to try and see if he's going to actually go for the confirm or not. Worst thing you can do is just immediately breakaway if they haven't shown you they're going to go for it. No, he drops the combo! And he managed to get the low. That could have been a huge amount of damage, but he didn't quite get it. So he has the light speed though, and Nashian, yeah, he's trying to find his opportunity to get out, but it's not going to be that. And another drop. Dizzy has dropped every single ring cancel so far.
The whiff down too, but doesn't get punished for it. Oh, gets caught counter with the back one once it's 3-string. Oh, the Hail Mary teleport doesn't work out for Anasi in this time. Dizzy is going to close out the second game, tying things up 1-1.
Not surprising to see the adjustment be made. I feel like that really was kind of just Dizzy being able to enforce what Sonya does, right? Get him to the corner. Someone like Noob Saibot doesn't fight amazingly well when he's back to the wall, and it's a combination of that and Sonya having that much more dangerous corner pressure. Despite Dizzy also still playing quite shaky, right? We're seeing a lot of these drops, a lot of these cancels not quite fall through the way we normally see them work. But still, gonna make it work. Now, do we see the change? It actually looks like Nation is considering the change to seeing double. I wonder if we're going to see it.
Oh, he is going to lock it in. We're going to see a lot of slides, but it opens up the possibility, well, an easier route to get towards that crushing blow with the shadow tackle as well.
The hourglass.
But
now,
Dizzy dropping... Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry. I was just about to talk about how knowing that this matchup is going to change somewhat thanks to seeing double. But the big thing here, he's going to miss out on the traditional damage, but he's going to compete with the full screen game a lot better, right? Even right there, we're seeing a straight up trade with the amplified rings, and one of the slides was almost even. Not in terms of damage per se, but you know, it's what the slide gives Noob Saibot. It's a really good knockdown. It's progress towards that crushing blow. Another Hail Mary teleport. This time going to get blocked though, and he puts himself in the corner. That is really unfortunate. And there we go.
This time.
No drops to be found, Sunny Jim, and that's going to be a clean round one. On the back of that, that seemed to completely fall apart. The second Anasian accidentally kind of put himself in the corner there. We said before about the risk reward, right? Doing those kind of Hail Mary teleports in Dark Sabbath, your reward is like a 300 damage combo. Not so much to seeing double. You're looking at about half that damage, so you're not really going to get the same level of reward. But a full commitment on the string from Dizzy.
Good punish with the 1-1-3 slide tackle. Dizzy looking real low this round. Nasty just keeping the space, playing real patient. Waiting for his moment. Oh, and the anti-crossover jab.
Honestly, to go for an anti-crossover against a jump kick that is as good as Sonya's, it is quite, it's difficult to get the timing. And if she gets a jump kick from that range, she's going to easily get a combo from it into a decent knockdown. So it is quite risky to do it. Oh, optimal punish.
Oh, yeah, drops the combo.
Any of those special moves that count as highs, even if you block them, you can get the down 2 crushing blow. Dizzy with the knowledge, it's going to take a huge amount of damage.
And it's just as he said right there, but the fatal blow is going to connect. It's the only thing he can do to really buy himself some time and some room to figure out how he can play this, but it's going to look real bleak for him as Sonya just has the power to throw, inner strings at you from the other side of the screen, but it's not even going to matter. The jump back air to air into the clean round ender, and Dizzy is going to take that 2-1.
Really, I feel like this is starting to slip away a bit from Anasian. I feel like in game 1, Dizzy was getting caught out by... I don't want to say stuff he shouldn't be getting hit by, because I know it's, Anasian definitely isn't playing with gimmicks, right? This is just solid Noob Saibot play.
Yeah, it's just risky.
But yeah, it's mainly I feel like Dizzy's kind of just real composure, in the sense that it's not him just hitting overhead or lows or that's it. I feel like it's just playing a lot calmer over time, in terms of he's not committing to the unsafe 50-50s as much, and it's mainly the fact that I think he's just slowing it down. He doesn't want to stick out buttons. He's not falling for these kind of like neutral teleports that we're seeing hit in the first game. But I feel like now the ball is in Anasian's court to realize, okay, well, this isn't working anymore. Now I have to kind of change up. I feel like he really has to slow it down in kind. I feel like it's very easy to fight against a Sonya and kind of see, okay, right, I'm against Sonya. She's going to be up in my grill. She's going to be looking to mix it up all the time. When in reality, especially a player like Dizzy, I would say out of all the Sonya players out there, Dizzy is by far the one most willing to sit there and throw projectiles all game if it's going to work, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to be really aggressive and really, playing too fast against that kind of style of Sonya, you are just going to walk into ring blast. You're going to jump at times, you'll get out of the air. You're going to find yourself feeling like you have to take these risks, like going for the teleport or forward dashes at times you maybe shouldn't. And really that is just going to play into his hands. Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, because I feel like it's doing it to counter a play style that Dizzy isn't doing. And I think, again, it comes down to you see Sonya, and as a player, you'll think, right, rush down combos. That's what they're going to look for. But that just isn't the way that Dizzy plays. And Nastian is getting caught out from it so far. It looks like the match has started, but we aren't. We're looking at health bars right now for full transparency. Well, okay, so who's winning right now? Nastian has about 55% health, and Dizzy has 30. So, it's really hard to tell because there's two characters that could delete from either side. Shouts to the health bars.
Changing very drastically, very quickly.
Oh, that was a down 2. We just saw 14% go in one go. That was definitely a down 2. 1000%.
Down 3.
And Nastian is on Magic Pixel. We can't see the meters go either. Oh, and Nastian loses the round. Dizzy on match point now. I believe our spectator has gone to the main menu to lower the health bars, but now we've gone back into the lobby. There's obviously... you can't spectate a match in progress. You have to go in between. So unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing the rest of this one. But have the health bars gone back up yet? I haven't actually spectated a game in this style in quite some time. Oh, was that the last round? We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for confirmation on exactly what that was. I believe Dizzy TT just won. Okay, so Dizzy won. Okay, so Dizzy won 3-1. I'm really sorry we couldn't get that game. We are having a couple of production issues right now that we're trying to sort out as we go through. But it did unfortunately mean that we missed that last game. So I'm sorry about that. But looks like Dizzy did win 3-1. So Dizzy's going to be taking that first one, secure himself winners finals. I feel like that's not a hugely surprising result. Dizzy was definitely beginning to run away with that. Yeah. After losing that first game, he did kind of like something clicked. He's like, right, hang on a minute, what am I doing?
Yeah,
and then he
flipped the switch on.
Yeah. In Dizzy style, though, right? I feel like it's a combination of his experience. He's obviously been around in tournaments for a long time in this game, which I find it weird saying for someone that young. Like, Dizzy had his 18th birthday like a couple of days ago.
Yeah, and he's already too long ago.
Yeah, he's already like flown around the world, God knows how many times for various tournaments here and there.
With consistently high placing results as well.
Yeah, and that's the really impressive thing. I feel like it really is the kind of the generation of young players is coming up from like a much younger age than we used to see, right? I remember back when I started in the NetherRealm community back in 2011, and I'm not even as old school as it gets when it comes to the MK community. You know, I'm old school by NetherRealm standards, but you know, if you're talking like arcade era days, like definitely not. I remember when I first started in NetherRealm, it was like if you were 18, 19 when you first started playing, it was like, wow, this person's super young. And now you got people starting at like 15, 16. It's like, wow, okay.
Crazy.
And then
all these kids, they've got a lot of talent. The new generation of players is looking really strong as well. You know, we've got Ninja Killer, we got Rewind, we got people like Dizzy as well. And all these video games, who's coming up in the match just after as well.
Another perfect example.
Players. And yeah, they've just been, showcasing a wide range of talents, and it's the consistency is really impressive to me that they can just constantly be placing at these tournaments they enter. They constantly have a really solid game plan, and they constantly stay on that grind. Because for those of us who have been playing NetherRealm games for a longer time, or just fighting games in general, I think that we can learn quite a lot from seeing how these kids do it, because they bring a new thing to the table. Like, they play the game in different ways, they think about things in different ways, and yeah, I just think it's super interesting. I'm excited to see Dizzy progress more, and then we'll have to see who's going to face him in the winners finals as well, between Video Games Yo and Asadamatsu.
I find it really hard to call this one. Really, we have to remember this is a run back from this is a run back from the grand finals of last week, which was, of course, Video Games Yo and Asadamatsu. It was an interesting one in the sense that Asadamatsu obviously plays Cetrion, very strong Cetrion, the best Cetrion in Europe, top 8 of the anality, managed to win last week. He did win the tournament. We have to remember. And a very dry style of Cetrion, right? Very, very willing to sit there and throw projectiles for 90% of the game if it's going to work. It's not all that he has, but it's definitely the favored play style.
It's just a whole, you're not allowed next to me. I'm going to keep you as far away from me as I physically can. And then when you're in the corner, teleport out, and then just keep that space. Because... But
the real question is how it matched up against Video Games Yo, because I know Video Games Yo does not enjoy playing against that style like at all. He just doesn't like it, and that's fair. Like, players will enjoy fighting certain characters more than others, but I know he genuinely does not like playing Cetrion at all with any of his characters. We saw him take it to the literally absolutely down to the wire last week with Shao Kahn of all characters. In winners finals, he tried Liu Kang. It was 3-2. It was close. But I know that in grand finals, he tried Liu Kang. It didn't work out. Ended up going to Shao Kahn and then completely brought it back. You know, we took all the way back down to last hit, last round. And Video Games Yo had the tournament winning hit. He hit a forward. He had Fatal Blow. He hit a forward 2. You know, with Shao Kahn's long advancing button goes into forward 2-1, which can confirm into Fatal Blow, cannot be breakawayed from. But he went for the shoulder charge and then tried to hit the Fatal Blow as Asadamasa fell down, and he mistimed it. He did it I can't remember if it was too late or too early, but regardless, it just missed.
So the forward 2-1 was the punish on the geyser. And forward 2-1, as you said, it does confirm into the Fatal Blow, but he confirmed it into the shoulder. And then just after the shoulder, when Asadamasa decided to use the breakaway, the Fatal Blow, because he just dialed it in straight away afterwards, I'm guessing he got a bit too antsy. He fired it off too early and it whiffed, which caused Asadamasa to get up and then punish him in recovery with the Fatal Blow as well.
Hindsight's a wonderful thing, but by Lord, was that a heartbreaker to watch? You know, like just for the fact that we maybe saw a Shao Kahn get this close.
I know, I was popping off like really hard. This is like,
I mean, of course you would, for sure. You're like, yes, Shao Kahn!
Shao Kahn! He's the best. But yeah, seriously, I just I thoroughly enjoyed that set because, you know, from playing Shao Kahn as well, I just know that playing against Cetrion is not easy. It really doesn't feel like it's easy, but when you're up close with her, you can really you can scare her. And I think Video Games Yo has a really good understanding of how to scare people, but I also think he probably wouldn't want to play the matchup again with Shao Kahn. I don't really see him feasibly.
I don't think he needs to, because there's one big thing that has changed from last week to this week. Nightwolf is legal now.
That he is.
That is the big elephant in the room in this tournament. Is Nightwolf is legal for the first time in a pro competition, Intercontinental Cup, like whatever you want to call it, official event. This is the first time that Nightwolf has been. His 30-day ban has now gone. He is now allowed. We did see him yesterday. Some players were using him. But the question is, are we going to see it from Video Games Yo? I know this was definitely something he was talking about, looking forward to Nightwolf being legal, and no messing around. He goes straight there, straight to it.
He gave us the little pause in the beginning so we could think about it, right? And then he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go straight towards him. He does not want to play this matchup with Jax or with Shao Kahn, but we are gonna see his Nightwolf, who I know he's been spending a lot of time playing and thoroughly enjoying. And he did mention that Nightwolf would be one of the 3 characters that he wishes to play.
We have to remember why. You know, out of the 3 characters Video Games Yo likes playing, Shao Kahn, Jax, Nightwolf is the best counter zoner. You know, he has that built-in reflect. He has the decent projectile of his own. But all the matchup, big read immediately. The first time he blocked a jump kick, we saw a neutral jump without question.
Confirm into the corner carry from Asadamasa. Oh, doesn't get the punish. Oh, just sending the boulder straight back.
That's the big thing. Nightwolf's reflect is so fast, you can react to boulder toss.
Oh, the air flare.
Oh, okay. It completely and utterly just takes the boulder out of the matchup. There's nowhere that you can't react to it. Now, Nightwolf shoulder charge. You know, Video Games Yo is going to have months of experience looking for opportunities to get the Shao Kahn shoulder. I imagine the Nightwolf shoulder works in exactly the same situations. Now with a life lead, you can see him. You can be a bit more careful. There we go, jump kick.
Clean play. Now we do know that Video Games Yo does like to do a lot of neutral jump kicks when he reads throws, as you know, a Shao Kahn habit is to do neutral jump kick into shoulder charge. Very, very profitable read. And,
honestly, it's like I said before, right? We know the shoulder charge is very versatile, right? Any kind of forward advancing mid special move, especially when you're using it to whiff punish things or jump kick confirms. You know, it is exactly that perfect kind of opportunity. Oh, okay.
No throw escape from Asadamate.
Well, normally you see Nightwolf players favor the forward throw in the vast majority of situations. And again, a good read on the neutral jump.
Oh, but does get the too.
I bet Video Games Zero actually almost wants to keep this one from like jump distance because he's just really thriving in that range. And that down 3 harassment. Nightwolf's poke game, very dangerous. Every time he hits that down 3, it's a read of grab or button. Another back throw, Video Games Yo. Just kind of walking away with this one at the moment.
Oh, last arrow connected.
Oh, punish. No, he tried. Oh, and there we go. The fatal blow attempt and the punish. Yes. Straight up punish with the arrow too. Like that was just I feel like some of like the slowest we've seen Video Games Zero play, but that's exactly why Nightwolf is the character he wanted in his team. This is the crucial piece of the puzzle that was his character choices that he just didn't have filled, right? He didn't have a character that could hard counter zone. He didn't have a character that could hard slow it down and play from that range and not have to worry about losing it at any point, you know? Like, Nightwolf just, he competes so well from the range that Cetron wants to get her game started, and the range that you know, Video Games Yo doesn't like playing with the Jax or Shao Kahn. This character choice has been really helpful, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, I would like to give a little shout-outs to Video Games Yo as well for repping his other 2 characters in his player card, as well as we can see over there.
I mean, they've got to be involved somehow, right?
He's got to have them some way. Before, he just had it saying Nightwolf with Shao Kahn's victory. And, but yeah, you know, I was interested to see whether Video Games Yo would actually pick the second variation because of the teleport that you get from the Reflect, but it doesn't seem like he needs it. So this variation just sort of plays that game that he, as you were talking about earlier, just wants to
honestly
play.
Like, so Ancestral Gift is strong, but Matoka Warrior just brings everything you could need, especially in a matchup like this, right? Like we're seeing now. Oh, okay.
The whiff grab and the whiff down too.
Like, think about this, you know, we've seen from Matoka Warrior, we saw the round start, and within like 10-15 seconds, Video Games Zero had already passed Asadamate in the corner, massive life lead, already getting the game started. And there we go, anti-air projectile.
Yeah, it's really difficult to jump in on Nightwolf.
Round 2.
And you know, it's so Asadamate just feels he seems to be very flustered because a lot of his options are actually being interrupted or they're being challenged. You see him trying to create some space over here with the crushing blow.
And there's the reaction again, the boulder just being completely just removed from the game from that range. Oh, he let go too early. Oh, skip ahead. Oh, a dropped combo. And again, another whiff on the uppercut.
Oh, the clean spacing of the 1-1-1 punish. Gets the link as well with the down one. And then a clean whiffed air normal into the forward throw.
Oh, dearie me.
Great Spirit has spoken.
That brutality is just gross.
It reminds me of
oh.
Negan.
You know what? I get it. Oh, still though, that's kind of messed up. I feel like throw brutalities are some of the best because they always seem to be like the default one. So you're guaranteed to see them, especially character like Nightwolf. Like, we haven't even touched on his throw game because we haven't really had a chance to see it as kind of like, you know, plainly black and white as we maybe thought. But Nightwolf's throw game is one of the, honestly, I think one of the best in the game. Where his front, he has crushing blows on both throws. His front throw gives him a ludicrous amount of advantage, and his back throw sends full screen. So it's one of those where his better throw is front throw, which makes it not really a 50-50 because the front throw is going to be the one done most of the time. But if you're the Nightwolf player and you know that they know that, you're going to get loads of back throws. Like, and when you've got crushing blows on top of it and you can easily bait people into escape fails like that, it's GG's, man. It is done and dusted. And Video Games Yo, on the back of what he had to really fight for through tooth and nail last week, is looking on the at the end of maybe a clean sweep in this winners semis, unless Asadamate can figure something out about this matchup. Because right now he's looking a bit lost.
Yeah, Asadamate is going to have to play out his mind and just change things up if he wants to actually get past Video Games Yo right now. It looks like he's going to win this as his Nightwolf is really just steamrolling. See a clean.
And it's the corner carry. He started that combo with almost like with his back to the wall. And he ended up here. Quite even on health though. Oh, and there's a big jump kick. Still ready with your actions though. Now the thing is, at 400 life, if video games hits that forward 2 and fatal blows, it's done. But not going to get the chance to see it. Asadamata's going to keep him away. It's almost like Asadamata kind of needs to play at the sweep distance a bit more, because from full screen it's just not working out. When it feels like when the boulders are just taken out, you know, you really do see where Cetrion can struggle when you've effectively left it with just the Geyser and the Hell's Wrath.
Yeah, that is true.
But it's not. It looks like it's not deterring him. It looks like Asadamata wants to still throw the boulders, but play around the post-reflect game a bit more, because that means the boulder's not going to hit, but it does force video games to be looking for them still.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we did see him try and teleport in as well.
Yeah, we're seeing him go for neutral jump, go for the teleport. Uh-oh.
Killed by the overhead. We're going to see a lot of corner carry from over here. The shoulder giving you really good Oki into the back throw, which is going to send Asadamata to the screen. Both players with fatal blow as well. Oh, and a clean jump kick, but no confirm. And he is going to get the punish with the shoulder. Amplifies it, but doesn't get the kill.
Asadamata is going to get that fatal blow back any second now. There it is. Ooh, but okay, the arrow. I'm actually going to say, we're not really seeing video games, shoot as many arrows back as we've seen prior. It looks like in this game, he's actually quite content to kind of just sit there and play the reactive game. Whereas before, we'd see him kind of almost like go for trades with the arrows a lot more. But I guess it's much easier to do that if you have a life lead, and that's kind of what's been holding him back so far. He hasn't really spent much of this match at all with the life lead.
Oh, we got the standing 4 instead of the back forwards 4 over there for the shoulder position of Geyser.
Yeah, he's looking for it. Oh, there's the forward one. Going to counter hit 2. Asadamata playing it safe. We're going to get opened up by the throw. Good block on the overhead this time. You see Asadamata. He's trying to take his turn, but video games, he's not extending too much. He's playing very, very safe right now.
He's just gradually closing the space and really just making you, he's making Asadamata just walk himself into the corner, and then he's going to just have to teleport his way out, spending his defensive bars. So every time video games get a touch at that point as well, it's basically an unbreakable combo.
Now, this is perfect situation for Asadamata. He has no reason to go in right now. He is looking to chip down. Wait, hang on a minute. Right as I say that, he moves in.
He heard you. He just wants to go in. He wants to close out the round. He's hungry for it.
I mean, thing is, even if he wants to go in, he does have a huge life lead, right? And only 20 seconds left. Yeah, there we go. That was just going to get harder and harder for video games, to make that comeback. And Asadamata played it really well at the end there. Time was on his side. He had a huge lead. And chipped was all he needs.
But yeah, I mean, I agree about going in that situation. I think he just wanted to kind of see if the jump kick connected or something, or just kind of catch one of those stray hits, which would have just closed out the game, so he could just take his breather. But rushing in that situation, probably not the best idea.
Well, the thing is, like, Nightwolf isn't known for huge kind of traditional damage. Like, he's looking at about 300 for a bar mid screen, which definitely isn't bad. It definitely isn't bad damage. But he gets, decent damage in the corner. But if he has Fatal Blow, that's where he gets scary. Nightwolf has a lot of avenues to get his Fatal Blow, be it something that can beat breakaways, get it off the forward 2, which does like 400 damage. When he has that Fatal Blow, that's where it gets quite dangerous. But when he's that low in health, that's when Asadamata looks like he wants to kind of sit away and not deal with it. So I think Asadamata is beginning to figure this out as we get through. The question is, will video games be able to make the adjustment? And we do. We get the stagger game coming through. And one combo and corner pressure instantly, just like that. Madness.
We're seeing a lot more pokes coming out of video games in this game as well. Nice reflect on the boulder.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Going back to the flawless block game.
In a certain range, he will flawless block, or he'll just choose to block instead of reflect as well.
Well, he hasn't really been doing the flawless blocks because he's been looking for the reflects instead. But I think he'd rather just now go back to the flawless blocking, work his way in, take the reduced pushback. Oh, the overhead. No breakaway either. This is going to hurt and end in the corner. Oh, both are
Second launch.
Ouch.
And into the fourth row gets teched. Teleport out.
Oh, counter hit.
Counter.
I thought that was a punish, but no, it was counter.
Is avoided.
Yeah, that's the matter. He must have expected that way out, but Video Games here was ready. Oh, wow, just raw shoulder into the overhead again. That's the matter. Getting caught, he's not reacting to it. It is reactable, but it's kind of tough. Second, you're looking to react to forward two is when Nightwolf starts dashing in with those down threes. Harassing, what a pickup!
Confirm off the down three, catching instead of jumping.
Oh, I like that choice. Oh, and again!
That was such a
Video
Games yo. He's gonna end it in the fatality, taking it 3-1 over Asadematsu. And he's gonna beat Dizzy TT in winners finals.
Now that is a match I am excited to see, because I genuinely have no idea what character Video Games Yo is going to pick in it either. But you know that's going to be a win that Video Games Yo is happy with. You know, we have to remember what happened last week in the grand finals. It was Video Games Yo versus Asadematsu. It was last hit, last round. You know, bracket reset.
Flawless victory.
It was wow. It actually was. Wow, that's actually crazy. I didn't know it was possible for Cetrion to be flawless, especially when it wasn't played from like awful from awful screen either. But I mean, it's a testament to the adjustment, right? It's not a knock on Asadematsu. It's a testament to Video Games Yo putting time into Nightwolf and waiting for this character to be legal in tournaments so he can pick him for matchups exactly like this. You know, they played last week. It was 3-2 last round. Bracket reset. It was one of the closest grand finals we'd ever had, but you know that matchup it's not great for Shao Kahn. You know, it's I know. So that's actually been quite a debated topic on Twitter this week between them as well. Like, Video Games Yo saying it's 7-3 and Asadematsu saying definitely isn't. But clearly this matchup is considerably better for Nightwolf. Not that he just has to suffer in the same situations, but I like seeing Video Games Yo apply himself to the matchup because he has a lot of knowledge on how to play against Cetrion because he has to. But he now has access to Nightwolf, who obviously fits his style very well, and does again complement that team. You know, I'm very excited to see how far Video Games Yo can go now. Nightwolf is there for him as such a clearly useful part of his arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, he's just definitely got that roster of characters that he's really comfortable playing competitively as well. And, you know, with Nightwolf being tournament legal, I expect to see him do a lot of damage, really, going forwards. This character seems to really fit that kind of playstyle that he has. This very patient, poke heavy, and really, like, up-in-your-face playstyle that's centric around, you know, making you... It's kind of like a strike-throw game, really, isn't it? He's making you think he's either going to hit you with buttons, or he's going to make you eat pokes, or he's going to keep throwing you.
It's like Shao Kahn with a mid, you know, like Shao Kahn with the mids like the ones that Nightwolf has, right? I know Shao Kahn has the forward three, but it's not quite the same as what Nightwolf can do. Shao Kahn with a reflect and Shao Kahn with a better mid, pretty much.
Yeah,
but I like
think
it.
The projectile does a lot as well for Nightwolf. The arrows are very reliable because of the hitbox on them and because of the amplified one. You at least have just the one mid arrow in there, whereas Shao Kahn's javelin can be like low profiled from about half screen and closer.
Yeah, it's definitely a change up on the style he's used to playing, but it still works, right? He still gets to kind of put that Video Games Yo stamp on that we know is very, very basic, right? Again, like, there are a number of players that do this, and Video Games Yo is definitely one of them that kind of strip away the fluff. You know, the amount of moves that Nightwolf has. How many did we see in there? We saw like standing 1, down 3, forward 1, forward 2. That's about it, really, in terms of like normals, right? Like,
yeah, he really doesn't use many of the moves. He just limits himself to a few really good normals, and then he just keeps using those. He just changes the style.
Yeah, it's classic like quality over quantity, right? Like you can learn every single move your character has and just use them for the hell of it. But I would take a player that knows everything about the handful of moves they have that they use, over someone that knows the entire move list but doesn't use the right moves at the right time any day. Like 1000%. I think that's hands down the better thing. But our next match as we move down into the losers bracket is going to be Stuntman Mike versus that Pro Stunner. So two more
really
unknown
excited
players.
to see this.
No, this is going to be interesting. It's going to be two more unknown players to those of you out there that may have only have tuned in for competitive MK, kind of MK11 onwards. But Stuntman Mike is like an online player we've seen in various online tournaments through the years. He's kind of he's always entering there. He hasn't always really managed to get really far in tournaments, but doing well for himself this weekend, clearly. And that Pro Stunner is a player that we have not seen on a stream in a long time in Europe.
Yeah. For sure, we haven't seen him in quite a while, but both these players also beating really good players as well to make it into this top 8. That Pro Stunner taking it over Boki from Austria, and we have Stuntman Mike who took it over Zorro as well from the UK. And I'm really excited to see how Pro Stunner plays this game itself. Now I'm also excited to see how Stuntman Mike plays because I've never seen him play before. But with Pro Stunner, I'm interested to see if anything that he did with Reptile actually translates over to how he plays Baraka, because I'm just thinking about their down threes being very similar, and I just wonder if he's honestly, I'm kind of hoping he has some really spiky stuff, because I really enjoyed watching his Reptile to a degree that I kept watching it and trying to replicate the combos, and I kind of want to see some really cool Baraka stuff as well.
Well, Baraka does have some tricky optimals, but they are really hard. Like the big one you see Baraka kind of a lot of players don't go for is the launch, the gutted launch into the forward 4 into forward 2-1 is so tight. But it does a lot more damage, right? You're kind of clean like
doing online though, is it?
Yeah, exactly. But the question is, will Pro Stunner go for it? As it's going to be Reborn Scorpion from Stuntman Mike. Oh, okay. Now we're seeing already Pro Stunner really trying to harass with that 1-1 game.
Okay, tucking the spear.
Ooh.
And that 1-1 from Baraka, so good. Both players been really patient, but Stuntman Mike finding an opening with the back 4, confirming into a full combo, 293 damage.
Oh, wow. But no crushing blow. That would have been, I bet maybe he just didn't want to go for the crushing blow because there was a breakaway ready for Stuntman Mike. Oh, okay. Let's go a block. Oh. Oh, no punish. He went for optimal though as well.
Now, did Pro Stunner duck that? I wonder if that was an intentional duck or if he, it just went straight over, I wasn't sure if it was because he was crouched.
I think he was just looking for any poke into Chop Chop for the chip, because from that health it would have worked on hit or block. Ooh, what a whiff punish. Straight into the guide on the forward 4. Decent damage for what that was. And the throw 2. That Pro Stunner is all over Stuntman Mike.
He really is. This Baraka just shutting down Stuntman Mike's entire game plan. The down 1 poked out of the teleport, but a nice throw pick again from Stuntman Mike.
Ooh. Nice pick up on the jump kick. Another throw coming through. A Pro Stunner. He has a massive life lead. He doesn't have to do anything here. He can afford to sit and wait. I mean, it's Reborn Scorpion. What's he going to do from full screen? If he goes for the teleport, you can down 1 him out of it. Oh, okay. We're going to see the teleport cancel into throw anyway. But if you're going to try and throw him to death, you're going to have to get a lot of these if he's going to even it out.
You really are, but time is also in your favor. And you do have, Stuntman Mike does have access to the Fatal Blow as well. He's low health, but the whiffed interactable.
Oh, and another attempt.
Oh, there's the
There's another attempt to punish the Chop Chop. I mean, going for that standing. I mean, standing 3, right? Is it standing 3 or standing 4 he's going for? I believe it's standing. Okay, well, he's going for like an optimal punish. Because that standing 4 into teleport is a big damage opener, but unfortunately 2 for 2 now, it's just not going to work out. Because he commits to it, because he thinks it's a punish. You're then making yourself punishable because you tried to punish, and against someone like Baraka, who's going to be doing 350 plus for that standing punish, that is dangerous times.
Yeah, I mean, it's a punish, but you're also leaving yourself punishable. It's probably just not worth doing, really.
You ever tried to punish something, but then got punished? Because you got punished for the punish, It's like the vicious cycle. I mean, I definitely respect them going for it, though, because Chop Chop is one of those weird moves that it is hard to punish because the Baraka player can decide to end it at multiple different times. But
yeah,
if you really read the one that they're going to go for and you try and punish at the perfect time, I mean, if we saw that standing 4 hit, it was going to be a massive amount of damage coming through. But unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be. But that's only 1 game down, of course, and it's 3 out of 5.
Gets flawless block hit on the first the string 4-3-4, but doesn't get it on the second. Pro Stunner forcing the breakaway from Stuntman Mike, but the down 2 crushing blow.
That wasn't a reaction. That was just a straight
Another
up get off
blow.
the ground with an uppercut. This is just aggressive mode coming out from Stuntman Mike. Big damage now.
Right there, but he has no bars whatsoever. No defensive, no offensive. Nice throw attack.
Ooh, he committed. Uh-oh. This is actually really bad. Pro Stunner has that fatal blow, and there's no defensive bar there. Stuntman Mike, oh, the neutral jump, but he gets opened up anyway. Tries that anti-air, the neutral jump, but those extended buttons of Baraka coming raining down and put a complete stop to the lead he had. Youch. That's unfortunate.
Now, it was really smart of him to have calculated as well just how much damage he needed, so he could end it in the chop chop and not spend his fatal blow, because now he has that for this round should he need it.
Oh, now he's going to cash out on the fatal blow. Haven't seen him use that yet. I like saving that for the...
Taking hard.
Oh my goodness. That's like 10% unscaled.
Oh, the teleport cancel from the jump in.
My personal opportunity to try and anti-air was standing one as well, so he is safe to the fake out teleport. Oh, and that's going to be another game. Stuntman Mike getting caught out. Baraka 1-1.
Pro Stunner is just playing this relentless game, very pressure heavy. He's doing a lot of pokes into forward-1-1s, and you know, Baraka's 1-1. It's a very scary string because you have the 1-1-2. 1-1-2 is able to be flawless blocked, so you can hit it with the flawless block up 2s. But the 1-1 itself looks a lot like his throw, and that's the part that really throws people off, is the fact that he can do dash in.
Throws people off, you say?
1-1. And but yeah, he's got the throw that he can mix in with that, and then
you've got Blade Spark, you have Chop Chop.
Yeah,
like
there's so much. And if you try and tech that throw, you probably just shouldn't even try and tech it. It's probably just better to take the throw because he's got crushing blows.
Unless you've got escape
throws as well.
Yeah. But I honestly think the biggest thing I like about this match so far from Pro Stunner though is, like you said, he's going for a very pressure heavy game, very stagger heavy. You know, delays into chop chop, delays into throws. But when he's playing from a distance, he is not committing to anything. We're seeing very few advancing, you know, forward fours from a distance. That one doesn't count because that was at the start. We're seeing very few forward 4-4s that don't need to. He's not extending with like big anti-airs. He's just playing it very patient.
Good block on the forward forward. It's back thrown right there towards the corner. And, you know, Stuntman Mike picking up an escape failed for himself as well. Scorpion only gets the crushing blow in the fourth throw, and we're going to see it cashed out right here.
I agree with using that straight away. You know, Stuntman Mike has a 3-game comeback to make here. Wow!
Another crushing blow. Back-to-back crushing blows again in this game.
Stuntman Mike is playing with no fear right now. Pro Stunner, one hit will take this. Uh-oh.
And I think that one is it. Stuntman Mike not even going to get the chance to break away.
That might not do enough because he didn't do the standing forward. This is going to be close or just enough.
I think it will.
I think it will do it. I think it will do it. Yeah, there you go. It was just up by about 2%-ish, but yeah, you know, Pro Stunner.
He did that on a read of the breakaway though, so, you know, fortunately for Stuntman Mike, he does have those 2 defensive bars to actually use the breakaway in this round as well.
Yeah, he definitely conceded that. I think it was best to not you know, waste the breakaway, be match point down, and then have to wait for that defensive bar to come back. Ooh.
Throw counter. That looked like it went on for a long time. That was a far-reaching throw. Tries to catch the crushing blow. I see him on the 4-3-4.
No, Stuntman Mike, he's trying to find a big hit here, but it's not being easy for him. Uh-oh, speaking of big hits, this is a Baraka corner combo. He's going to cash it. Oh, no, he didn't. Did not go for the crushing blow ender. He wanted to go for the chop chop. Oh, that's why!
Bro, he had that loaded up from earlier on in the round.
No, that was really smart. He actually opted to go for the chop chop ender, but like the quickest chop chop possible. And then he went for like an immediate throw, knowing the crushing blow is there. I think that was like a really good setup.
Yeah, that was really clever.
Well, think about it, right? Like, what I would say is the obvious thing there would have been Baraka corner combo, cash out, go for the gutted crushing blow ender, and see if you can get a hit. But instead, he went for like the quickest ender possible with like the level 1 chop chop, which is the last thing anyone would have done in that situation or would have seen that situation, for a quick rise into a grab with a crushing blow loaded. That was really smart from Pro Stunner. Like, really
The
smart.
damage calculation was just really on point. And it was a really good way to I think play against someone like Stuntman Mike, because he was probably expecting him to just cash everything out with the chop chop, but ending the chop chop early and then kind of forcing them into that state where they're standing up straight away.
Baraka players don't end with level 1 chop chop. They don't, because there's literally no point. It doesn't affect your knockdown game. It doesn't affect your advantage. It just gives you more damage to extend the chop chop, unless you deliberately end it early because you don't. You want to hit them with something quicker because they're expecting chop chop to finish, right? Again, it was really smart stuff coming out for Pro Stunner. So Pro Stunner is going to be facing off against Asada Matza in their next round match in loser side. Oh. But we have one more round 1 game to get through, my friends. We have Juicy Joe versus Orp from Scotland. So what do you think about this one then? Because it's probably going to be, I mean, Juicy Joe plays Jackie. I don't think he plays anything else. I think he's just Jackie. Orp, on the other hand, seems to be quite unpredictable when it comes to characters. I think he plays a set amount of characters at a time, but who he's going to pick, I find it really hard to tell.
Yeah, it's so against Jackie, right? I mean, I assume he's got a lot of experience playing against Jackie because, you know, a very good player from the same area is Rusty Banana. Yeah, Rusty Banana is a Jackie player. On top of that, we have other players from the Glasgow area like Euphemism who also play Jackie Briggs. And so I think that experience-wise, he definitely, you know, has the experience, and then he would eventually just end up picking the character he felt would deal the best with Jackie. But I think Op is the kind of player to really consider the fact that he's in loser's bracket, so he could potentially even pick Kano, because Kano is a character that could potentially thrive quite a lot in a 1-2 environment if the other player just doesn't know how to play against Kano.
I think it depends how much Juicy Joe knows about the matchup. I know that Jackie is not a good matchup for Kano at all.
Yeah,
she's one of the characters that can really kind of harass him and stay in his face, close the distance. And a character like Dirtbag kind of needs a bit of distance to kind of get his game started.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, Orp,
Cassie as well, and he's got
for sure
blade as well that he's been playing as well recently. So
as far as I'm aware, Orp plays it's Sonya, Cassie, and Kano. I think they are the 3 characters he plays. Honestly, I feel like Cassie might, because like Cassie versus Jackie is an interesting matchup where Cassie definitely wins the range game, like for sure. She has good buttons. She has the fast mid to kind of compete with the 9-frame game of, you know, one of the things about Jackie as a character is making herself, you know, like -2 or whatever off cancels, and then. Yeah, and then trying to read something from there. If you have a 9-frame mid of your own and you make the right read, you can really screw her up for trying to press when she shouldn't. But it looks like we're going to be seeing the Sonya coming out from Orp, and Juicy Joe, as expected, with that Jackie. I am happy to see Juicy Joe stick with Jackie, though. You know, there's a character that she did get some nerfs in the patch, but absolutely still a strong character.
And yeah, I definitely agree there. Now I haven't seen Op actually play Sonya before. I've only just heard since yesterday just mentioned that he played Sonya as well, and looking at the profile as well and realized that he did in order to make it into this top 8. But perhaps he just plays the kind of game that he wanted to play with Cassie, because I'm aware that he was very comfortable with just playing the lame game essentially with Cassie. He was happy to just sit there and then just keep throwing projectiles. But that was a really clean punish, a duck into the I think standing 2 with Jackie into the freeze kick and getting the corner repositioning for Juicy Joe.
That was really really good decision from Juicy Joe there. But a whiff punish going to come through once more. And you see more damage coming through, and he was down on life a second ago, but okay.
Oh, catching the poke.
That was literally like the longest range I think I've ever seen Sonya's Fatal Blow connect. That's not going to kill though, unfortunately. So Orp still has his work out, but he's like 1 hit away. Oh, Juicy Joe. I respect the dash punch attempt. From that range, it would have been the crushing blow, so it would have killed. But a big thing about this matchup is it's 2 characters that now have 950 health, so you're going to see life bars just disintegrate. You don't normally see, because there's 2 characters with heavy damage too, right? 2 950 health, but 2 characters that do a lot of damage if they get the right hit. And as I can say, that Juicy Joe with a full corner combo, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't go for the crushing blow over there. I think he had that loaded up.
I don't think he's done the back-to-back the back suplex yet. Don't think he's done that one yet.
I think he got the corner repositioning in the first opener that he thought. But
well, regardless, if he has it ready to go, we're probably not going to see it for the next round now with the health. But it's, even if he gets the chance, but
trying to get the punish. Doesn't work out, unfortunately.
Oh, that could have been punished from Warp. Big jump over. Oh.
Getting the knockdown. That no longer launches. Oh, gets caught with the 4-3.
Orp, he was trying to fight back. He was trying to bring it, but couldn't quite have the damage as before. Got a good knockdown off it though, and the big thing for Orp is he's out of the corner. Oh. I guess he was out of the corner. But it's not quite there yet. Oh, the spacing!
Up 2. Into the 3-3 crushing blow.
Oh, that was gorgeous.
He's gonna spend it here. He's gonna spend it.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
Juicy Joe with a juicy 630 damage triple crushing blow. Orp though, hang on a minute. This is Sonya. She has him in the corner. Uh-oh! Uh-oh!
Great confirm from Orp right there.
No way! No way!
Oh my god!
What was that like? Okay, so you know what I said like a minute ago about these being 2 950 health characters that have damage to melt each other? I give you the example. The perfect example. That was that life bar. Oh!
What happens to both characters?
I mean, if I were Juicy Joe, I'd be salty. I'd be salty right now. Hitting that combo and then losing the round anyway.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Op's like mental fortitude to not crack or scramble in that situation.
For sure, 1000%.
I would be tilted after getting hit by 3 crushing blows in the same combo, putting me at a life deficit as well. That's the one where I'm like, man, do I really want to play this game? Like,
oh, that was such a gorgeous combo, dude. That was such a good. I mean, what was it? It was a crouch. No, it was a wake up
3-3. It was a 3-3 on wake up punish.
It was a 3-3 because Orp had the audacity to do a wake up attack.
And then it was ended after the clinch crushing blow. It was ended in stand forward dash punch.
It was the perfect wake up punish because the wake up means you can't break away. Oh
yeah.
Oh, mwah. Beautiful, beautiful. And he still lost though. Oh, yeah, just make a composure from Orp, man.
That was the sickest Jackie combo.
For Orp to get up and then just lay on the pressure instantly, like that takes some guts, man.
Applying a lot of pressure right now. Op Sonya's looking pretty good as well.
Oh, for sure.
He's really comfortable playing this character. I'm not sure how long he's actually been playing her for.
I think he's always had her in the pocket. You have to remember, Orp had a huge character crisis in this game for the first month or two. He really did not know who to play. So I think he definitely kind of played a bit of everyone. But this round is looking all Orp. Juicy Joe, no defensive bar right here and isn't even going to matter. Tries to get away, but the ring blast going to take that little bit of life down. Another life bar for Orp.
There's definitely a rough situation for Juicy Joe right there as well, because having to work your way in against Sonya who's just going to keep throwing energy waves at you with that much health, it's probably best to just close out the round and then move into the next one. But Juicy Joe finding his back in the corner right now. The escape failed on the forward throw.
Oh, instant jump in anti-air. Juicy Joe with the injustice tech. Oh, I wonder if that was a wake up to attempt. Got to wake up standing too. I can't imagine he would have wanted that. Oh, that is not good for
dash punch.
Yeah, he tried to dash punch and just...
Oh, gets one of his own right back. Perfect spacing.
We're seeing some bones breaking. Both fatal blows though. Orp gets any hit here, it's over. Oh, the whiff!
He tried to make the as well.
Wait, he put the drone on himself, but like it was so close, it was like almost behind Sonya. I've never seen it go that close before. What was that? It must have been because Juicy Joe went for the dash punch at the same time.
I'm not sure, but either way the rounds are tied up. One very clean trip guard with 4-3-1 from Juicy Joe. Big
complete corner combo. Yeah, I like how he took the moment to decide which ender to go for there. So he can build towards the crushing blow, or he can keep the corner position. Juicy Joe is getting opened up by just the standing 1 through 4 a lot by itself. Okay, another hit here, though.
Didn't have the crushing blow loaded.
No, I think in that situation, even if you don't have the crushing blow, and that's going to be it, more than enough damage. Even if you don't have the crushing blow in that situation, just taking the Yoki from like the close splat is really worth it for sure. And Juicy Joe, take that to tie it up 1 apiece. Honestly, against 950 health characters, it's really weird looking at how much of a life bar it takes down. You know, because it's only 50 health. You wouldn't assume it's that much, but trust me, it makes a difference. Especially when you're looking at like 140 throw and 1 big lump. Juicy Joe going to bring it back. Happy to see it. On the back of some really clean play too. Like that's what I love about Juicy Joe. I think Juicy Joe is like his reads and like his reads to make you whiff things, right? If he makes you whiff a button, if he makes you whiff an attack, not only is he so good at reading when you're going to do those things, his confidence to follow through on them and make sure he gets the right punish. Like, it's so good when you whiff an attack and he goes in for the forward 3 or like so before the wake up punish. He's so good at just like, and I think that's an important part of Jackie, when you force someone into a situation that they feel they have to do stuff like that, and then she is one of the best equipped characters in the game to absolutely delete you for doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Jackie is a very momentum-based character. I think she's a character that can really, like, you know, snowball very hard in games. And but the thing about, oh, that was a beautiful down 1 as well to catch the dash punch start. That was a call out. That was...
Yeah, he was ready to pick up as well. That was definite knowledge. As I said before, I definitely expect Orc to have a lot of matchup knowledge here, given the fact he obviously plays against other Scottish Jackie players. Ooh.
Okay, escape failed as well. Fully going to keep Juicy Joe towards the corner. Clean anti-air, but unfortunately drops the conversion.
Oh, that micro duck. Oh, empty jump. Empty jump into a full whiff punish. Oh.
Tries it down 2 because he knew the breakaway was going to come, but unfortunately doesn't catch it, but still manages to get the round.
Juicy Joe just going for chip at that point. Didn't need anything else. Orb left himself without bar. Orb opting to go for that last minute breakaway was quite the risk now, as he's finding himself in the corner with no defensive bar yet.
It's a dangerous place to be.
Oh, big whiff. It's not huge jump in. Ouch. No breakaway here either, thanks to what happened before.
It's a lot of damage. Triple knees as well, but the
trade combos. Oh, the low again. Oh, he ends it early. What's the mix up here? Juicy Joe doesn't have any defensive bar for the breakaway, but isn't going to matter now. He's in the driver's seat again. That back throw giving her a lot of advantage. Oh.
Now, I don't think Op wants to spend Fatal Blow to take this round, but he might need. It's a very dangerous situation to be in when Jackie has hers.
Nope, that's going to do it. That's enough damage. God, this is an absolute slobber knocker. We are just trading round for round. Orp didn't have to come off that fatal blow, so he's going to be happy with that. Oh, good anti-air. Clean rings.
Just going for the zone again to keep Juicy Joe out of there. Doesn't want to deal with any of Jackie's.
Oh, that was such a good read of the drop.
It's caught by the glorious hitboxes of that 2-2. Oh, challenging the dash punch again. No fear.
They're dangerous ranges too. Like the ranges that Juicy Joe is throwing out the dash punch. I mean, again, he's looking for the crushing blow. He wants the big damage to start the comeback, but Orp is just not letting it happen, and that's going to kill him. Yeah.
He dominated that entire round by trying to just make Juicy Joe want to come in, and those few times that he did hit the amplified energy rings, so few times that he did catch the dash punch, really just, you know, set things in motion for Orp to just control that round.
Yeah, it definitely looked like Juicy Joe began to get impatient, you know, like typically we've been seeing him kind of work his way in, crouch under and kind of, you know, slowly but surely closing that distance. But that life bar was almost exclusively just like dash punch, dash punch, dash punch. And he was constantly getting hit. And I feel like the more he would get hit out of dash punch, the more he would want to go for it. And unfortunately, he did end up throwing that life bar away because Orp was content to just sit there and go, right, well, if you're just going to keep walking into these, then I'm going to keep firing them. And that's exactly what we saw. And Orp now goes up to 2-1 in this losers match. The winner of this is going to fight Anashian, but we're not there yet. This is best of 5 territory. But, you know, Orp is going to be feeling pretty good right now. You know, he has the game to work with. Sure. He's been playing really well. He's clearly been kind of frustrating Juicy Joe. And he's going to know that. The question is, can he keep it going, or will Juicy Joe kind of had a breather in between and be like, right, you know, time to keep it slow and work my way in again? Because if Jackie gets in, you know, might take you a little time to get there, but if you do get in, boy, oh boy.
Then she can usually just stay there. I mean, you know, we usually see, we also see Juicy Joe going for the back throws with Jackie, which keep them closer as well because the forward throw actually knocks them like 3/4 of the screen.
She's another one of those rushdown characters that has a better throw for a rushdown, right? So it makes her throw game scary.
Yeah, for sure. 1-1's coming out. Juicy Joe just trying to keep the corner pressure. The micro down. Punish.
Oh, that's so scary. When a Jackie player is doing the micro crouch like that, that is terrifying. That is so scary. Uh-oh. Now in the corner. Even the front throw is good. Oh, that was a bit of a Hail Mary. And that's going to be it.
That was a really clean round from Juicy Joe, just controlling Op, keeping him in the corner, and just making him hold all of the pressure that he's throwing out.
I definitely
pressing buttons against Jackie is tough as well.
I feel like that just seems to be the kind of player that Juicy Joe is, you know? Like, he does not like being from far away. He does not like being at a distance. If he can corner you, though, my God, does he just explode. Oh, the hold. Oh, we tried to punish it to roll. Kept it safe. And another micro duck. We're going to have to see Orp start going for some mids or pokes there instead. He's trying to take the frame advantage he has to go for highs, but Juicy Joe, he's reading them. He's crouching just the active frames of Orp's high and just completely punishing him for them. It's very dangerous. Now here we go. This is playtime for Orp. Oh, he tried to anti-air, but a clean jump in. Fatal blow? No, he saves it.
Oh, my God. Fatal blow.
Oh, you absolute madman. I love it. He fatal blow to take away like 2% of life because it was armor, right? It's not about using the fatal blow. It's about using the armored properties to just get that hit.
Because he knew that if he took a hit in that situation, the Juicy Joe could just confirm it to fatal blow on his own.
Oh, for sure.
Guaranteed.
That was definitely potentially waste a fatal blow to stay in the game, then die with it. You know. Oh, the low. Ooh, not bad damage.
Oh,
okay, this is huge.
That is a big health lead already.
Yeah, and from out of nowhere, right? Couple of bars, couple of confirms. Oh,
there's a
hang on a minute,
Joe.
Let's not say it's too soon. Oh, but he jumped it. Wow, Juicy Joe. Yeah, that is unfortunate. He was trying. I think we're seeing a lot of like attempted anti-airs, attempted kind of like little movements in, but he just kept getting tagged.
Yeah, that's true. It was really unfortunate because every time he gets tagged as well, it just sets him further back, and it's just even more of a mission to just start working your way in. But you know, I want to give a GG's to Juicy Joe as well, and you know, for showing us such an amazing Jackie Breaks combo as well.
I was gonna say you're about to talk about the combo, right?
Yeah, because I've never seen anything like that. I didn't even know that it was possible to confirm into the dash punch crushing blow right at the end of it. But yeah, I have to say that was some really clean Jackie play, really good play all around. But also, you know, congrats to Op, who's going to move forward in the tournament and face off against Ination after this.
No, you know Orp is going to be very happy with that. You know, Orp has been playing really well this weekend. He's you know he's been a bit up and down with his results in the game. He's really trying to find his footing. But with how he's playing today, like absolutely GG's. You know, Juicy Joe is no joke. That's a win he can be very happy with. Especially, you know, again, kudos to Juicy Joe for bringing that clean Jackie play. Sorry to see you go, but I'm sure we'll see you again. This is not I don't believe this is the last Intercontinental event, but we will see. Of course, we have Ultimate Fighting Arena coming up as well, which is Intercontinental, I believe. So hopefully we get the chance to see these European players go that one step beyond further still, even if they're eliminated this weekend. That does mean that we are done for our first round games in this top 8. To remind you, the matches we have coming up, winners final is going to be a UK showdown of Dizzy TT versus Video Games Yo. And in the loser side, we have Asadamasa versus That Pro Stunner and Anasian versus Orp. But we'll get to those games in a few minutes, as while we get them sorted out, we're going to go for a short break. So please don't go anywhere. The Intercontinental Online EU West top 8. Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We are here with the top 8 of the Intercontinental Kombat EU West top 8. My name is Mustard, and I'm joined on commentary by Falcon.
Hello.
Once more, this has been a really good stream. We've had some really cool games. We have some more coming up. But just to kind of highlight some moments, we've seen Dizzy TT take it over Anasian 3-1, and Video Games Yo take it over Asadamasa 3-1 in the winner's side. So our winners finals is going to be Dizzy TT and Video Games Yo in the UK Young Man Showdown. And Stuntman Mike fell to Pro Stunner 3-0, and Juicy Joe fell to Orp 3-1 in loser side, which sets up Asadamasa versus Dat Pro Stunner and Anasian versus Orp. Now, what would you say has been your favorite set so far? Because we've had some real killers.
Ooh, so my favorite set was either Video Games Yo versus Asadamatsu, because it was the first time we got to see Nightwolf, and Video Games Yo playing Nightwolf as well just makes the character more entertaining to watch. I feel like every character he plays, they just feel entertaining to watch because he plays such an oppressive game style with them, and I just think that was super cool, and we also got to see him overcome the player that beat him in the grand finals last week as well. Moving himself into the winners finals. But I was also a really big fan of Juicy Joe versus Op, because those were just explosive matches. They started right out of the gate. Both players are able to dish out a lot of damage, and both players are just really back and forth. It was just just slugs throwing between them. And I just thought those two were my favorites.
I think almost like one of the unsung heroes we've seen so far of the day, though, is definitely that Pro Stunner. Pro Stunner is, again, a player we used to see a lot back in the MKX days. He was kind of before Happy Power burst onto the scene. We saw a lot of Pro Stunner in playing Reptile in the online cups. And, of course, we saw him just have the absolute swaggiest combos, huge damage, until he eventually had to stop playing, unfortunately. But now he is back. Now he has returned to us here. He's playing Baraka, and I believe we're just waiting on Pro Stunner to join the lobby while we get to see what's going on.
Could you possibly predict this match? Because I think both players that are about to play this match right here, this set right here, are just incredibly strong players with two different styles of play. Asadamatsu is the kind of player who will keep you away from him. He will keep you at those magic ranges that make you feel like you can press a button, but he really just shuts down how you do that. And Pro Stunner plays a very stagger-heavy game, very poke-heavy, but he's also a player who's just kind of aware of his overplot, like how he wants to actually play out the round, how he wants to play out the life bar. He takes everything into account by the looks of it. So I honestly couldn't even predict who would win out of these two. I'm just excited to watch these two play.
Well, it's likely going to be Baraka and Cetrion, a matchup that we've seen a bit over time. I feel like Cetrion definitely is a more common character that we see than Baraka, but at the same time, like I find it really hard to count Baraka out, because the thing about Baraka that he always has going for him is he can, I've heard that he can be lamed out by some of the more extreme keep away characters in the game. But Baraka, even though he can get, kept at arm's reach, because he doesn't have the best movement in the game, he does have longer range jumping punches that go to full combos. He does have tremendously high practical damage. So even if he's down massively, all he needs is one jump in and he might even it up, right?
Yeah.
All he needs is to crouch one throw, whiff punish one button with 1-2-2. Like, he has all these crushing blows that give him access to like a clean 500 damage that, I mean, does any amount of keep away really contend with that kind of access to damage? Like it's hard to say. It really is hard to say. I believe he only plays Marauder, so I know some Baraka players out there do kind of go for Bone Picker for those longer range games where you can't really get into such. But I definitely think we're going to see him sticking to Marauder through and through. I hope we do. Anyway, I think Marauder is. I mean, I've always been a big believer in Baraka. I've always felt like Baraka is just insanely strong, but has never kind of had that real mainstay performance in major events. Like we see Baraka get far. Obviously, we see like DJT, Kombat back in the day, Tweedy early on.
Yeah.
There definitely are Baraka players. Of course, even in the UK, we saw Zorro, Chaotic Throwdown. So Baraka does have players, but they never quite get to like the absolute highest. Unless you're talking about Tweedy, of course, using Baraka at Combo Breaker, which was the first event for the game. Yeah, we're still just waiting on Pro Stunner to join our lobby. I'm afraid we apologize for the delay and appreciate you being patient with us, my friends. But we should hopefully get it up and running as soon as possible. But we also have Anasian versus Orp coming up, which should be something that we'll be looking for. I think Anasian, because Anasian, of course, is the Noob Saibot player. We saw him with Dark Sabbath today, which is different. We normally see Noob Saibot players all kind of go to seeing double now. But the question is, do you reckon he's going to pick? Because I definitely think that's going to be a Cassie matchup for Orp, because I know that Cassie does do well against Noob Saibot.
Yeah, but does she do well against both variations, or does she just do well against the second? Because I think seeing double kind of like against Cassie, yeah, you can stay outside of range of the slide. You can stay at the range where it's harder for the Noob Saibot player to react with a teleport as well to your gunshots, or harder to make the read. You can be real patient with that. But maybe Op doesn't want to play Cassie as well, because I don't think he's actually played her a single time throughout the Intercontinental.
I think he played it yesterday. At least going by like the Smash GG portraits, it says what characters they use. I'm pretty sure I saw a Cassie in one of those games. I think it may have been his top 8 qualifying match. I believe we're going to be moving on to the next match. So I think we're going to Anasian and Orp right now, actually. So quite appropriately timed that we're talking about it. Quick heads up: if you qualify for online events, you should probably be at your desk until the event is over.
Yeah.
You know, like if you qualify, you should be there. But apparently, that's not happened right now. And Pro Stunner has a little bit more time to get here. I don't know. Maybe he's had to go to the shop, get some milk or something. Got to pay the electric bill.
Oh yeah, that's an important one. Otherwise, that'd be
now. Right, so Orp we have in the lobby. So I honestly think we're going to be seeing Cassie from Orp here. I know Cassie has always been a character that he's played. It's a weird one. I feel like he's always had her as like on the main team, but he's kind of like first choice. And even the Chaotic Throwdown we saw, and I think when you are a player that has multiple characters that you can go to, you have to be careful with which ones you pick. It's easier when you have a 3 out of 5 because you do have more games to work with. But even at Chaotic Throwdown, an off-stream match against Honeybee, which was his losers match, we saw, or it was a Noob Saibot versus Honeybee picked Noob Saibot and Orp picked. It was Cassie first because Cassie on paper beat Noob Saibot. He lost that game and went to Dirtbag, who Dirtbag Kano is not an amazing character, but he's an interesting specimen. And ended up running it all the way back to like a last hit, last round territory. Honeybee had to make a really clutch comeback to be able to get that win. So the matchup isn't always the case, but I think, especially when you have 3 out of 5, it's worth trying to see.
Yeah, definitely. But it looks like he is contemplating the Cassie pick right now. I think there's no reason not to. Just stick to it. If you think if it works on paper, then just stick to it. Now, Op also has the luxury of being able to switch if he does lose this game as well. And then, it's about whether he considers his match with Honeybee as well, which is what I forgot to touch on, but, thankfully you brought up. So it's just a matter of how he plays this, what sort of range he chooses to play it at. I didn't manage to sneak a look at which variation Anasian picked. But
we'll see. I imagine he's gone seeing double. I know this was real bad for Dark Sabbath before, and what made the matchup so bad for Dark Sabbath was the fact that his mid was just a non-thing. The mid was easily punished. The keep way didn't really work as much, and obviously the big thing is the mid, right? Like, you would go for buttons and Cassie would get guaranteed checks on everything or just straight up punishes, whereas seeing double having the option to go for the low slide just makes every button safe to a point that she doesn't get guaranteed. Oh, and there it is. Big teleport. Maybe a reaction to the glow kick there.
Gets last hit with the strength. But the back two working out really well for Op right now. I'm not sure the air guns are the right play as well. And Nessian just playing this real slow, finding little moments, and then just chipping the bits of damage that he can. Really nice teleport on reaction to the gunshot. Oh, ducks the unblockable, that was close. And then Op manages to break away before the second hit of the Shadow Slide as well, and then catches Nessian, I'm guessing, trying to anti-air the jump kick as well.
That was a really well-timed jump from Orb as well, though, right? Because that, if he decided to sit there and stay, he would have been chipped out by the low clone. Oh, there it is.
Right there with the forward 4. And I really like the side switch combos coming out from Orb as well, just doing the dash under into the standing 1.
Unfortunately, though, he committed too much and ended up cornering himself anyway. Tries to go for it again, drops it this time, unfortunately, but still gets the positioning. That's the big thing there. There's the restand. There's the mix. Oh, big read on the neutral jump.
279 damage just like that. Getting caught by the overhead into the amplified glow kick. Nessian not out of this. Both players have just run similar health, real close. Nice
there's the anti-cross up again.
That is going to close out the round for Nessian, tying things up 1-1.
Well played overall, though. Again, going for those last-minute anti-cross-ups. I was a bit worried when we saw that Fatal Blow whiff, because it's almost like when a noob Subbot doesn't have the Fatal Blow, it's a lot easier to advance on him.
Do you think he has the 10 shadows by now? He anti-aired with the down back 4, the up shadow.
I don't think he's quite hit enough. But it is round 3. Normally by round 3, if they were close rounds, it's a fair assumption that it's there, but oh, that was a counter hit. That could have been the crushing blow, yeah. Maybe he wants to build, but maybe he's actually keeping counter clones and he's not quite there, and that would have been enough. I imagine trying to build up the clone crushing blow would take priority over the pack 1.
I think he must have it right now. He's hit like 4 in the past few seconds, but right there, we're just seeing him react to the gunshot as well.
Oh!
Actually finding a use for Cassie Cage's Fatal Blow. Right there on Wake Up. Not dead, but real close to it.
Oh, instant! That was such a
tried
good read
to do
from
an instant there teleport as well. It looked like he was about to.
What I liked about that was, I felt like that was a really good read from Orp, because in that situation, a jump from an Nessian would have been the most obvious thing, because if you could look to jump, when you're at a position that you can't really take chip damage, you look to jump over moves you can't really avoid, and you can't really react to and avoid the low gunshot. You know, it's a bit too fast. Like it might be possible, but especially if that kind of like mid-screen distance, probably not. So you're going to jump preemptively when you think she's about to go for it. Orp knew that Nessian was looking for the jump and just did instant air gunshot and just snatched him straight out of it. It was just so smart.
Orp looking real good in this top 8 so far, but Nessian isn't out of this yet. He is 2-0 down, but this is best of 5. We are going to see first to 3s over here. Again, just using the back 2s early on, and just a lot of forward and backward movement from Op. Really just trying to get Nessian to press out, to press a button, commit to a back 1, commit to a down 3 or something like that, so we can look for the whip punish as well. But a nice hit confirmed. We're going to see big damage coming out from Nessian right here.
Ooh!
Doesn't duck it that time. And that is going to hurt a lot.
I feel like every time we see someone get hit by the ghost ball, they get hit straight after. Like it's like Trilogy all over again, and getting hit by the ghost ball means you can't block. But you can block. All it does is take away your bar. Heads up.
Yeah, it's not like how it used to be, where it used to be that you couldn't block. Okay, up with a bit of a life deficit, but not much. Oh, gets caught with the 1-3, the last 2 hits of that string. He does have Fatal Blow, but right now this is all in Nessian's game.
Yeah, this is going really well for him so far. All his force makes that work. Oh, hang on. Went for something big there. Just a straight up jump into launching string. You don't really see that work too often. Oh, what? That was super Matrix.
Oh, okay.
That was
I mean,
that was like the most anime flashiest exchange.
it was definitely.
Oh
the
my!
most
And it worked. Come on, no!
Oh my god, he didn't punish the glow kick. Last hit! Oh, the amplified slide. There's unfortunately no gap he could have done anything over there. That was it.
That was spaghetti all over the floor round. But what an exchange though at the end. Very clutch from Anashian to stabilize that though.
Yeah, just to keep it simple, going for the guaranteed chip setup at the end as well to close out the game. Very smart stuff from him. He's gonna tie up the games 1-1 now. Or no, sorry, 2-1. It is 2-1 in Op's favor. But he's keeping himself in. He's not out of the tournament just yet, as it says losers bracket. But
this is crunch time.
If he needs to, he doesn't need to. It looks like he's gonna just stick with Cassie right now, and then
I don't think
maybe
he's comfortable with the Cassie pick, honestly. Like he's looking even that match. Like he was this close. He was like on the cusp of making that huge comeback.
Yeah, I think it's easier also if you're just playing the same character because you just start having ideas throughout the set, and then you realize you pick up on different things, and it's easier to change your game plan instead of just playing a totally different character you might be, you know, not entirely comfortable with. You get more of a chance to just kind of download them as your current character. Really clean
That was
combo.
really clean, yeah, very tidy anti-air combo.
That was a down 4 into the kneecap in, amplifying it as well for the extension. Oh, gets the pickup. Really nice stuff.
Not
Using
enough.
the back 2-4 in the air.
Yeah, that was huge actually. Anashian, he went for the wake up roll, but then opted to whiff punish with a down 3, not a button. I think he's not playing quite as confident, but there it is, big whiff punish.
That was a bait into that
Start
down
it.
2.
Oh, keep this safe.
I like Op's decision to continue the 1-1-1 string over there as well for the meaty that was guaranteed as soon as he landed next to him.
Oh, Anashian, he let go of block 2 early and gets shot in the face by the amplified kneecap, and Orp finds himself on match point. Super close to eliminating Anashian right here and now. Oh, big hit, confirm. Breakaway? No, Orp's not to.
No
Ooh,
breakaway.
wonder if Orp, yeah, I wonder if Orp was trying to bait it out there.
A teleport to catch the throw. The down 2 whiffing, but doesn't get a good enough punish. Gets the down 3. Gets the forward throw to throw Op towards the corner. Nasian keeping things safe with that amplified slide. But a big air to where this is going to turn into a lot of damage and forces the breakaway from Op.
Oh, big jump kick. Oh no, he didn't get the optimal.
Oh, he ducked the interactable and went for the forward 4-2 punish.
No,
That's another big
I
duck
think
from Nasian as well.
I think Anashian dialed into the that as an ender to end with the grab. Does loads of damage, but just didn't get the combo. Unfortunately, he just dropped. Oh, that was like the longest range I've ever seen that normal connect.
Final round.
We're seeing a lot of that, aren't we?
Oh, for
A lot of
sure.
the
I think it's the nature of the
magic
matchup. Yeah, like Orc is gonna want to keep Anashian as far away as possible, right? Like that's what makes us. That's what makes Cassie do so well against Noob. Is just it is literally just kneecapping. It's kneecapping in the mid. Those two things make the matchup kind of rough. Big reactionary whiff punish for that teleport though.
But keeps himself safe. The back 3 into the low slide. Forcing the breakaway as well. Oh, he's clipped by the low. No breakaway.
Oh, good trade for Orc.
Now this is any confirm into a combo is going to hurt for both players. They don't have any defensive bars. That means no breakaway, and right now Anashian is in kill territory.
That might be something he's going to regret. Throwing that fatal blow away like that means he's now lost the ability to confirm into it.
Oh, there's the duck and the
got a
ghost
little
ball.
bit too. Yeah, got a little bit too cute.
Castle Cage wins.
Op keeping himself together and you know, taking that, I would say, very convincingly 3-1, and Nasian had that really good game going for himself, but for the most part it was kind of just Op playing his game.
I mean, he was just honestly like the big thing about Orp is he started to just play the matchup really well by the end. You know, like the first couple of games were just really solid play all around, and Nasian getting that return game on the board. I believe is this match being played? Or was it 2-1 now? I thought it was 2-1 before.
Yeah, I thought it was 2-1 before as well.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so yeah, so it's 2-1 now. It's 2-1 now. Okay, so yeah, I think that maybe have just been. All right, it happens. Let's just move on. No worries. 2-1 now to all. Well, in that case, then it's almost just like the same kind of thing, but a little bit more concentrated in the sense that we know that Orc played that first game really well, and Nassian. But I feel like the big change last game was just how slow Orc took it. That really is how Cassie plays the matchup. I think more effectively is just the ability to keep him as far away as possible, frustrating him. Ranges where he wants to forward to, but is a little bit too far too. Big crouch on the uppercut though.
He's gonna get the enough. That is the round over. And to get but throws him out of the corner. I think if he ended it with the slide, it would have killed either way.
Round 2, fight.
I think he was just making sure. It's a shame to lose the corner positioning though, but it did take the round. I'd say it's still worth it.
Yeah, just close out the round.
Ooh.
Looking at it, that string.
Oh, there we go. Is he close enough to the corner to get? No, not quite enough. Oh, whiffs the clone. You can see again, like, oh, reactionary whip punish again.
Oh, and a clean jump kick, nice confirm with the forward 2 into glow kick from Op. Both players with only a little bit of difference in their health. And that was the big whiff on the fatal blow right there. I think Op tried to do it with snare guns, but messed up the input.
He does have his own fatal blow now, though. One hit! Oh, there it is! No! Wrong button!
I don't think he could confirm that string into the fatal blow, but it's a fatal blow from a Nassian.
So, the back 2 doesn't confirm into fatal blow, but the forward 4 does. I imagine he still could have walked up and forward instead, but I think he may have just kind of like muscle memoried into the back 2 whiff punish, which unfortunately did give Nassian the opportunity to stay in the game, and he's going to take it, so it's going to be 2-2 now. We're going down to game 5. Now, this is the last chance Orc is going to have to change. If he wants to change, it's going to be now. I feel like Nassian is playing this matchup really well, considering. I don't mean, but by no means is it unwinnable, like for Noob Cybot. Like Cassie just does well against him, but it's definitely winnable. But
yeah,
we'll
definitely.
Now try.
We're seeing a lot of really good adjustments coming out from both players. Really, I think when Nassian starts snowballing, he really does start snowballing. Like he generally is able to force the little increments of damage he can get into the slider in individual hits, like quite a lot. And he's content to just keep throwing you, but the way Op was playing before, it feels like Nassian's just started to kind of, change that up, position himself differently, stay at different ranges, and then just make it harder for Op to actually, for that adaptive game plan to actually work for him.
Now, it looks like he is considering a change, but he's taking his time. You have to remember, this is elimination territory now. Game 5 losers bracket. This is the top 4 as well, like, yeah, Sonya. We saw him play Sonya against Juicy Joe earlier. Looked really good, so I'm not at all surprised to see him go back to it. He looked really comfortable as well earlier on Sonya.
Yeah, he did.
Now, unfortunately, though, as much as I'd like to say at getting top 4 is impressive in an event like this, but still, I mean, with these intercontinental events, especially the online ones, there's no prize money or anything. There's no second place prize. It's first or nothing, really. So you need to make sure you just get as far as physically possible. Big wake up.
Yep.
Only a throw punish.
Forward 2 string confirmed into the slide, but gets caught with the second hit of the energy ring on the way down from the jump. He cannot block in the air.
I don't think I've ever seen so many Noob Cybot teleports like raw land in a match as I am seeing like.
He must really believe in himself.
Yeah, for sure.
Even his read really commits to them. Oh,
speaking of committing to a read, that's going to do it the uppercut.
Where's the
no punish!
No punish indeed. Now this is, I was going to say dangerous because the next opener could have been bad for Nassian, but no need to worry. He is on match point now.
Yeah, there's a clutch block on that overhead as well. Had he got tagged by that, it would have been dangerous.
Oh, and that was a really nice confirm from the jumping kick from Op.
Oh, clean anti-air. Okay, this is bad for Nassian. Getting cornered against Sonya Blade. Do not want this.
The momentum is building, and Nassian doesn't have breakaway as well, so one opener in the corner confirmed will be dangerous, but catching the counter hit off the rushing blow.
Oh, he tried to Anya, but too late. Oh, gets caught. This is really bad for... Oh, but there it is again. The fatal blow just done it. How many times... Nashien has done this today. Yeah, like, how many times have we seen Nashien just do a fatal blow in the neutral? But for the first time, we're going to see it work.
Oh, in the slide.
The raw slide. And Nashien stealing the life bar away one massive chunk at a time. And he's going to take it over Orc and move on to top 4. Wow.
Oh, man. You know, really well played to up. I think that he was definitely playing as well as he could have. It's just that he let that last game slip away from him effectively.
Oh, 100%.
You know, he had all the pressure and he just didn't have the damage capitalization off of that. So it kind of came back to bite him in the end. You know, throwing one too many energy rings caused him to get fatal blood. This far into the tournament, and you know, Nashien is going to be moving on as well in the losers bracket.
I mean, it's an unfortunate way to lose, you know, no doubt about it. But credit to Nashien, he's been sticking to this playstyle all day. You know, how many times we've seen him just get fatal blow, use fatal blow. You know, or like instant, got it, it's gone. I've used it. You know, because he really wants to catch people out with that raw fatal blow. You know, I feel like Noob Saibot's fatal blow is one of the most unappreciated in the game. That it tracks you, it goes underneath. You know, wherever you are, it's going to be there. It's active for a long time. The armor makes it very easy to trade with projectiles. But you know, when an Nashien has that style of just get it and use it, like just use it, and the amount of times it didn't work versus the one time it did won him a set. You know, that's why it's important to if you're gonna stick to that kind of style, you have to make sure you're doing it in a situation that can turn things around for you. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw him. You know, he got that whole life bar was pretty much crushing blow back one, fatal blow, low slide after the fatal blow, and that was it. That was near enough the whole life bar gone by itself. Which is, you know, some of these characters that have those crushing blows, they may not have the highest traditional standing damage, but by God, if they make it up elsewhere.
Yeah, and seeing double doesn't really get a lot of. It's not very combo heavy variation. It's but the fact of the matter is, if you get any of the touches into a slide and you amplify that slide, you're getting, you know, about 250 to 270 damage, and yeah, exactly. And it's like you're able to constantly rack that up and then just keep them so far away from you that you can just keep, you know, reapplying the same game plan. So it really does start adding up, you know, straight jump kicks, down twos, things like that. They may seem like small numbers in the grand scheme of things, but they really do add up very quickly.
Okay,
so there's a lot of momentum for it.
So we are swiftly moving on to our next match in loser side. It's going to be what was meant to happen before. It's going to be Asadamasa versus that Pro Stunner. In Cetrion versus Baraka. Pro Stunner was looking good earlier with this Baraka, looking very, very clean and tidy. Asadamasa fell to Video Game Zero 3-1 in the run back from last week. You have to remember, you know, Asadamasa is no slouch. He got top 8 of Venality with Cetrion. He won last week's Pro Competition Online Cup, so he's definitely no stranger to top European competition. How will this style? Because remember, he is probably the driest Cetrion out there. You know, like Cetrion has a reputation for being a hardcore keep away character.
Pro Stunner looks really comfortable right now, though.
Oh, definitely.
We're seeing Aso just throw the boulders, but the way that Pro Stunner is approaching and the options that he's choosing to take, he seems like he has a lot of experience against this character, or he's labbed extensively against Cetrion, because he's aware of how Baraka moves and Baraka's options, so he's just figured out the best possible thing he can for this. Because the way he's moving in is honestly, it's very good. It looks like Asadamasa is just really struggling to zone him out, because even though Pro Stunner is missing so much of his health bar, he's actually at the health deficit right now, and everything's working out with Stunner.
Again, it's a mixture of safety, right? Like the Blade Spark by itself is not a bad projectile. He has good movement on the way in. Pro Stunner clearly has those flawless blocks ready.
I think it's a very important thing when you're playing the Cetrion matchup to be able to flawless block a boulder to prevent that pushback on block.
It's kind of rough because it is so essential. Like you need to flawless block the boulders, otherwise you are going to really suffer on the way in. But if you go for the flawless block, oh wow, that was a really nice pickup. Caught her on the buttocks on the way down.
Round 2, fight.
But obviously, if you're going to go with flawless block the boulders and you miss up the flawless block, you get that happens, right? Full screen, chunk of damage.
And if you block it,
how
it's
much is the
called-
boulders? They're like what, 7-8% by themselves?
Yeah, quite a bit. And you definitely don't want to be like, you know, jumping haphazardly against them either, because in the occasion that you get straight bouldered, that's about, you know, the equivalent to a crushing blow without any damage addition. Just by itself on that crushing blow. Equivalent to a fatal blow, sorry.
Now you can see Bristol again does not want to extend too much. He's pressing very little buttons from a distance. If he's pressing anything, it's just going to be projectile. It's projectile or block. That's what he's doing from a distance right now. But it's working out. You're seeing as he lands these wayward blade sparks. Oh no, guys, it's going to work. It's going to be a full combo. Oh, huge fatal blow. Is that enough damage? That probably is, right?
I think it will kill. I think down 2 fatal blow does about almost 500 damage. He's dead. He's dead.
God, that hurts so much for that.
Yeah,
450.
45%.
That is wild. And a good first game for Pro Stunner.
He's really making his mark in this tournament right now. You know, he's a player that we haven't seen for a long time, since MKX days. And now he's returning just, basically, he's able to give this much of a hard time to the person that won last week. Is, you know, quite an impressive statement. And he's doing it with a character that a lot of people feel Baraka doesn't do very well against Cetrion, is what I hear a lot from people who play Baraka. But the ranges that Pro Stunner was playing at in that first game, I firmly believe that he just knows this matchup inside and out. He was staying outside of the range of the max range geyser and everything as well. He just knows because he's throwing Braid Sparks at just the right space on the screen.
Well, you know what I said about even if Baraka struggles against certain types, styles of keep away, all he needs is one big hit.
Yeah.
I mean, that down 2 was pretty much exactly that, right? He's one of those characters that he can turn pretty much every form of launch he has into a fatal blow that you can't avoid, because his fatal blow is so good, it has such a good hitbox to it, it's fast, and that's what we saw it boil down to, fundamentally. But going to be going into this next game, Astamata taking a small life lead to start with, but a small life lead in the matchup that's being played in this style definitely means a lot more than you might think.
For sure. Jumping over the mine grab.
It actually looks like Pro Stunner is happy to play it from a distance. Almost like, again, when he has that corner behind him, it does shut down the teleport option for Astamata.
Oh! The air square right there is big for Baraka. He gets out the he gets out the breakaway, but this is a big opener. Oh no, this is going to hurt a lot. Is he going to end in a crushing blow? He will not. Taking the chop for the Oki and 455 damage. And oh my god! That was sick.
That was a gorgeous flawless block.
Round 2.
Opting to go for the anti-cross-up flawless block just to make sure. Astamata did get out of the corner. It doesn't like Pro Stunner's read that. That's great. Ooh, counter poke chop. I actually really like this style from Pro Stunner. He actually wants to walk himself to the corner so Asso can't teleport towards it. That means if he can win this full screen game and shut down that teleport option, he can just continue to just keep doing what's working. Okay.
Now, I'm quite sure that Cetrion's her vine grab was a crushing blow and counter or punish.
No, it's she has to. Oh wait, I'm thinking of the geyser. It does have a crushing blow. I can't remember off the top of my head. I know the geyser has one. If you whiff 3 geysers and hit one, I believe it crushing blows. But you very rarely see that.
We just saw a counter on the blind grab, so I wasn't sure if he was actually able to get a crushing blow from that or not. But
I think it has to be.
anyway,
I think it has to be a punish from. No, oh no, I think it's if you. Is it if you stand lock it?
Yeah, actually, I think you're right. I think it is a stand lock one. No, it's a mid. Oh wait, no, it's not. Oh, I'm confused now. Either way, we'll note that Asso didn't spend that crushing blow. Yeah, exactly that. And it is 1 round apiece right now. Pro Stunner not flawless blocking any of these boulders.
But you can see what happens when you don't though, right? Like if you don't force block the boulders, it pushes you back non-stop. If you mess up the force block, you'll get hit. It is difficult to do. Oh, absolutely. That's what I mean.
Geyser, the jumping as well.
But it's what I've been saying, man. Like Astamata is definitely the driest kind of Cetrion player out there, but that means he's also really good with the projectiles. If he does catch them, he's going to be able to pick up. He's going to be able to capitalize on every projectile that he throws.
That's true. And I think Pro Stunner's looking for the 1-2-2 crushing blow. He's looking for any opener he can get to get that.
Anything into fatal blow is death here. Anything. Oh, but the boulder punishes the full screen roll. Asadamata is going to be putting one on the board in return. But you do have to be careful, though. You know, even with the kind of life lead that Asadamata has, the second you find yourself against a Baraka with fatal blow and Pro Stunner, he's got those flawless blocks on deck. He has the knowledge to go for launches into fatal blow. Like the second you're on about 45 health, or 45% health, I should say, 450, no life lead is secure. You know, because I mean that's all he needs. That's one hit kill territory for Baraka.
The hourglass.
Now, seeing Pro Stunner go for things like full screen rolls, though, on Wake Up, that's where you get to a sign of, I don't want to say impatience, but definitely like just trying to just get in as quick as possible. But the problem is, against this style that Asadamata plays, you can very quickly kind of hang yourself without realizing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Decisions.
Round
Yeah, Pro Stunner's level 74 and hasn't changed his player card. Come on, dude. Oh, that's not a terrible way of starting things off.
Really good use of the wall right there. Now, the crushing blow does trigger when the wall actually eats a projectile, or if it's done at max range when it's amplified. For anyone that doesn't know, so Asadamate's base control when he uses the wall and he gets the crushing blows we were seeing him use on his previous opponent as well, that he just understands the range to use them very well. He's able to maximize the efficiency on that crushing blow. You see it used from other Cetrions.
Asadamata with just a raw wake up uppercut though. Dangerous to do that against the character with so many counter hits, but I think he was reading the throw because we just saw Pro Stunner get the escape failed, so obviously a throw is quite a common follow-up.
Pro Stunner without any offensive meter over here, but gets caught jumping by the boulder.
Round 2, fight.
Now, you're seeing Pro Stunner, I feel like early on in this set, he was content kind of trading from full screen and playing it very slow, but I feel like the more this goes on, the more impatient he will become. There's a flawless block, and a teleport. He seems just really struggling to gain any kind of ground against, because the second you do get her, close or near the corner, the teleport isn't ever present threat.
Nice counter throw from Asadamata, but it does look like Pro Stunner is getting a tad bit more impatient right now. He's struggling to find his range,
especially as he doesn't have the life lead too. Like Asadamata is perfectly fine playing it as slow as possible, especially when he's winning.
And there's the teleport again, just creating more space. Asadamata on the other side of the screen.
Each one of these beams that connects is going to be adding up, especially at this health.
But the thing is, Pro Stunner has Fatal Blow. This is, it's a perfectly doable comeback. It's just going to require a big opener and some, a big read as well.
But at this point, it's the time, it's the chip damage, it's the time, it's the spacing.
This one's
yeah, there it is. Another game on the board for Asadamata.
So Aslo seems to have, really adjusted well from the first game. Pro Stunner just seems to be basically falling into Aslo's hands. He's just becoming impatient. He's trying to work his way in. He's trying to, do what he was doing before, but it isn't working for him. So I think, when you're playing against a playstyle like this, it becomes a very frustrating ordeal. Like, just being zoned, being kept away. And those frustrations just end up working for Asadamata as well. So we'll have to see if Pro Stunner can keep his composure going into this last game. Potentially last game for him as well.
Well, he is making a change. The only other character I've ever seen Pro Stunner play in this game is Scorpion. So I know he has a Scorpion. I don't know how much he uses the character. But again, Scorpion is seen to be a good answer to Cetrion. Like, it used to be seen as a hard counter pick. We're not really seeing it work in that sense anymore, but you can definitely see how if you struggle with the keep away aspect to Cetrion, Scorpion can work. Because Scorpion beats her keep away, but then it forces the Cetrion to play much more of like a mid-screen kind of like hybrid footsie game, which obviously is not what we really ever see Aso doing because he never has to, right? Like the games are almost like exclusively full screen if he is in control. Question is what like you're already seeing him just being against Scorpion does mean he's throwing less because he doesn't want to get reactionary teleported.
And when he is choosing the throw, he's just throwing out the fastest one he can with the
Exactly.
recovery.
But you can see the change, right? Like, you know, Aston he's definitely fought against Scorpion before. He's immediately changed up the style. We are seeing him go in now. We are seeing him press more buttons in the mid-screen.
Now, I'm not actually sure how much experience Asadimanti has playing against Mirko. You know, maybe they play against each other quite a lot. You know, 2 Italian players as well. Mirko has been playing Scorpion for a long time. Crushing blow with the 2-1-3. Going to close out the round for Asadimanti. Really clean combo.
Yeah, Asodamasi is just completely running away with this one. Pro Stunner, this character pick has not worked out yet. That puts us on match point now.
Alright, both players just being real patient.
Oh, there's the hit.
Oh, there's the punish.
Yeah, that is why Scorpion can work in this matchup, right? It's just near enough every special she does can be reacted to with the teleport. There's a nice damage. Cash out. Oh, dash up throw. That was bold. With a good tech. Oh, back-to-back walls.
Oh, no punish on the whiffed geyser.
You can see Pro Stunner moving around. He's looking to keep himself as safe as possible, but he wants the reactions. He wants to get these teleport. Ooh, what was that? That was a high anti-air. I hit the toes. Yeah, this is a much better round for Pro Stunner.
Oh, the teleport and reaction to the teleport? He cancelled that. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but it was pretty good. I think Asadimatse was pretty confused when he saw that as well, just like I was. And, you know, Pro Stunner closing out the round for himself as well. If he does win this, though, he is going to be locked into Scorpion. I think, which he's totally fine with.
I don't think it's a huge problem, as we know that Asso is going to be Cetrion, right? Oh, but it all came down to that. The first time we've seen Asso get that in this set, and look at the reward. For Cetrion, that is big damage.
Yeah, no point using the breakaway that late into the combo as well. Good flawless block on the second hit with the wall, getting the punish as well, but the throw was teched. I think that may have been a back throw to get him into the corner.
Oh, big jump kick. He didn't get anything too big from it, unfortunately. Oh, Fulch being punished with the geyser. Doesn't look like a lot of damage, but this health definitely is. But that fatal blow is there. Uh-oh.
Back throw. Gonna throw Asadimatse towards the corner. And there's the teleport cancel. Nice block on the overhead.
Wonder if that was a flawless block attempt on the wall. He could have punished for that.
Potentially. Oh, really nice punish.
Oh, he didn't go into
fatal blow straight away. Oh, and there it is. The counter poke. That was
fatal blow, man. It's dangerous at that health. No, for sure. I like the choice to counter poke right there too, because like the amount of health that Pro Stunner had, it was very, you know, it could be a common choice for Asso to go from maybe like a poke into the natural barrier, or you know, a down 4 or something like that, just to get some advantage, or do just enough damage to chip away.
Yeah.
So going for the armor to just straight up hit it. I mean, it was a gamble. If that was blocked, he was done. That was definitely a big risk. It was a risk that paid off. Pro Stunner
but I think he was just betting on the trade or the outspacing. Because if Asadimatse decided to poke him in that situation, the armor would just chew through that. I think he had enough health to survive a poke, but not anything more. But either way, that was a nail biter, to be honest. That was really close for Pro Stunner, managing to keep himself in this, and this is losers as well, meaning that this is now what is 2-2.
Last chance. Last chance, boys. One game is all it boils down to. Pro Stunner. This change to Scorpion, it was a bit of a slow start. He did lose the first round in the last game, but he was able to stabilize it in the end. And again, all coming down to that reversal, just defensive fatal blow to get the armor. It worked out.
Pro Stunner never seems to be the first one to press a button as well. He's always just waiting to see what Asadimatse does.
It's just not what Scorpion does this matchup, I think, right? You almost don't want to be up close immediately. You wanna be able to establish the fact that you are not going to let Cetrion throw stuff at you, so you don't have to worry about it, right? But are we going to see that yet? That's the matter. He does have a lead. He doesn't need to throw anything. Keeping it safe with the barrier.
Exactly it. He's just forcing Pro Stunner to need to come into him.
Oh,
that was a really nice trip guard on that jump kick. But right now, yeah, Sadimatsu does have the health lead, and you know it's Pro Stunner is gonna have to really just assert himself and then take that lead if he wants to actually, you know, have a chance to winning this kind of game plan, really, this kind of neutral, because Sadimatsu is just not gonna press anything. You know, you can't get punished if you don't press anything.
Now we are seeing this clean rushdown game they're coming through. All the cancel teleport.
It's working out more right now, but the fatal blow is also something to consider.
And the time is running low. Will that be a factor? The walk up
blocks the fatal blow, but doesn't get the punish. 8 seconds.
Asadamasa. Yeah, he can afford to just sit and defend at this point. I don't think there's enough time.
I think the throw is actually bad for him because of how long it took.
I think maybe if he got another throw immediately, it would have been enough. But that was a big what if, as that's going to give a match point
throw
to
into fatal blow. Nice throw attack.
Oh, reversal spear. Didn't get the corner, or the side switch at least. Not quite the corner yet, but that space going down. Crucial throw tech.
Again.
Ooh.
That was really nice movement from Pro Stunner. And now Sadimatsu is going to have to play his game.
Oh, escape failed. That is not good for Asadamasa. We get closer and closer to the end of this. The breakaway. So it's running out of resources here. The crushing blow is ready too. There we go. Defensive throw. Gonna get the screen space. Not that it really matters too much. You see him going in, right? Normally Aso, he gets a knockdown, he just backs up, but can't do that at the moment. Not against Scorpion.
Definitely can't risk it. Oh, he tried to get the crushing blow over there, but the throw tech from Pro Stunner. That's 3 for 3 right now. Oh, no, well, no, it isn't. He got thrown before. But Pro Stunner is not in the best situation right now. He still has the fatal blow.
Oh, that was so dangerous. Finishing that string was a big risk, but Asadamasa, he knew it would work. He called it out, and that's going to be again another return match point. This is it, the last round. Pro Stunner still has that crushing blow throw.
The loser of this is not going to be in the tournament any longer. The winner is going to advance through, and Pro Stunner is going to hit the crushing blow on this forward throw as well.
A throw
damage over time,
well, so that's guaranteed.
Oh,
that is not what Asadamasa wants. He can leave him standing? No. Oh, spreading both into another crushing blow catch out.
This is the final round. This is the time to use your crushing blows. Pro Stunner knowing exactly what he has to do. Oh no! Oh, he did get the punish.
Oh, that was super weird.
Still got it. Now this is looking bad for Sadimatsu. What a throw.
Cetra, not really known for comebacks as a character, but I don't want to say it's impossible.
Double teleport, no defensive bars.
Oh, no, that's not going to kill. But with no defensive bar, this is going to be chip territory. One piece at a time. Oh, another reversal throw.
Push yourself.
Oh!
No flawless block. Oh,
and there it is.
Guaranteed.
Jump kick, yep. Jump kick into the plus frames into the poke. That is all Pro Stunner needed, and that's all he was looking for. And a smart change to Scorpion. A character change made a big difference there. Pro Stunner going to be taking over Asadamasa. So last week's Pro Competition Online champion, unfortunately going to be falling in this top 8. But of course, well played to Asadamasa for doing well. As always, we are beginning to expect big things out of him as we go through these tournaments, through these months. But today it's going to be that Pro Stunner that advances through, which means that we now have our top 4 ready to go. It's going to be Dizzy TT and Video Games Yo in the winner's side, in winners finals, I should say. And of course, it's going to be Pro Stunner versus Anasian. And I'm not sure if it's Anasian, or which one.
Anasian, Nation.
I'm like the worst for this.
I don't know how people from Denmark actually pronounce these kinds of letters.
I'll apologize in advance for the many ways I have no doubt butchered his name.
Me too. If we have butchered it, you know, for the correct pronunciation or whatever, please just drop us a DM or something.
So, we're gonna talk about the big match. This is something that I've been very excited to see. Our winners finals is Dizzy TT versus Video Games Yo. This is
UK boys.
This is like the two what I would say are the most like promising up and coming English players. You know, you have Dizzy with his experience. You know, he's been competing for about 2 or 3 years at this point. And he is just he's going from strength to strength, right? He really is kind of like the student of Foxy Grandpa, you know, the young, just promising player, right? That there are only so many ways I can say it. He's traveled to America many times. He has been all around Europe for these games. He is currently in a really good spot to qualify for the pro competition finals through points that he has earned through very strong performances throughout the game's lifespan. And then he's against Video Games Yo, who is just known for that. Originally just the Shao Kahn, right? The best Shao Kahn player in tournaments right now. You know, that real successful, best results, seemingly, you know, the most knowledge. But now I feel like he's very quickly kind of breaking away from just being known as the #1 Shao Kahn to, holy crap, this guy's really good at the game. You know, he's got the jacks. He's been bringing the Nightwolf, like, and again, these are two guys that are like, both of them are below 20. Like Dizzy is 18 and Video Games Yo is 19. Like, these are two young guys that have so much promise with how they're playing right now. But I believe this is the first time that we've seen them face off in tournament in MK11. So I am super pumped to watch this.
Yeah, they've both been really close to facing off against each other. You know, both players making top 8 at versus fighting as well. But we haven't seen them play before, but we are going to see a blind pick from Dizzy.
Ooh, hidden cursor. Okay.
So
Nightwolf. Nightwolf and Video Games Yo is... I'm happy to see it. Okay, so it's going to be Sonya.
Yeah, I think he read the Sonya as well. That's why he was comfortable. I think he would have just played Nightwolf anyway. This is probably just a chance for him to showcase just how much time he's been putting into Nightwolf over the past month and how comfortable he feels on him. But yeah, against Sonya, you know, you can just hold Reflect. The energy rings aren't as much of a threat, but I'm not too knowledgeable on this matchup itself because I don't play either of these characters that much.
I know this is definitely would have been a matchup that Dizzy has played considerably. Foxy Grandpa, of course, is, you know, one of the other players really known for, you know, looking forward to seeing Nightwolf playable. And I know that Dizzy and Foxy have been running the matchup a lot. So I imagine Dizzy has a lot of knowledge here. Video games going to get tagged by the energy rings.
But it's better that Crushing Blow gets out early in the first round as well when your health is still that high. You don't have to worry about that Crushing Blow for the remainder of the game.
Low-key kind of takes a lot of pressure off knowing that something, even though obviously getting hit by it is never great. Getting hit by it straight away, so you never have to worry about it, like, it really does make a difference.
Yeah.
Not that ab rings are bad without it, but still, you know, it's not quite as scary. Now, Video Games Yo going for almost exclusively back throws all day. I think he really is playing on the... Ooh. Did he just try and interrupt the energy ring with the Reflect? Does that work?
I think so.
I can't remember. I don't know the startup of the Reflect. I'm
not sure either.
And there it is, the confirm into Fatal Blow. That's honestly a big round for Dizzy to lose, because not only is Video Games Yo going to obviously snatch it away with the Fatal Blow, the energy ring Crushing Blow was used there too. So to use the Crushing Blow like that and then lose the round is not great.
Now Video Games Yo just keeping the space right here. I think he wants to try and catch Dizzy on the way in. He has the forward one, he's got the dash up down 3, he's got the dash up to the jabs as well for the anti-airs. But Dizzy just very comfortable, just completely zoning Video Games Yo.
And there's a catch, spending a bar, gets some damage, full screen. Well, maybe not quite full screen, but long range at least.
Using that standing 1 stagger. I like how he isn't even using the 1-1. He's just using the standing 1 because I'm not really sure why. I think it's just to add another layer onto the mix-up.
Well, the thing is, the 1-1 is the bit people look to react to, you know?
Yeah. So cutting it off early to a player that you know is going to react. Wait.
Oh, wow. Oh, he might be dead.
This could close it out.
Yep.
Down 2, really clean stuff from Video Games Yo. I thought for sure that round was going to be Dizzy's for the way he was playing it, but that just really turned on its head.
Well, unfortunately, what it all boiled down to is those of you that watched the Pro Competition Online last week would have seen Dizzy unfortunately got eliminated from that tournament by Arn Kratos. And it wasn't unfortunate that he lost. What was unfortunate is how it happened. Arn Kratos jumped there were like 15 jump kicks or so, like some crazy amount,
yeah,
like 15 jump kicks or something. That Dizzy TT, he tried to anti-air every one of them, but every time was slightly off the mark, and the jump kick hit him.
Yeah,
right?
It's the range of the jump kicks that makes it so hard, right? Like
Sure.
when this tips in range, like jabbing.
Nightwolf's jump kick is one of the kind of Shang-esque jump kicks, like the Shang Frost. The jump kicks that are just weird but really good by themselves. And that exact same situation is what ended that game. Dizzy tried to anti-air a neutral jump kick won, and he lost for it, and he lost a life lead. I do hope Dizzy doesn't fall into the same unfortunate habit we saw from him last week, because that straight up lost him the tournament, right? It's what got him eliminated, and it's what lost him the first game here. So I do hope he's not going to fall into the same habit.
Oh,
now,
so
there's
try and
knowledge
reflect it again. He must be able to. Because as far as I know, Video Games Yo isn't the kind of player to just try something like that out in a mixed match, especially in tournament. He would have tested it beforehand and then, understood that he could use it there.
I wonder if he actually reflects the drone drops.
So it just nullifies the drone.
Because he reflects some weird stuff.
Yeah, he can reflect like Cetrion's Hell's Wrath and stuff like
Jack's
that.
ground
but it just
pound.
negates them. Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, not quite in range.
Yeah, not using 1-1, just using 1-1.
Oh, he was fishing for the crushing blow shoulder charge.
It really was. His chip avoided. This is very, very difficult situation for Video Games Yo, but he does have the crushing blow on his throw loaded up now with the escape failed. Committed everything to that forward 2. Oh, doesn't get the confirm on the forward 1 though, but this is actually doable. Video Games Yo clutching it out.
It completely snatched that away from out of nowhere. I love the play too. We've seen Video Games Yo go for exclusively back throws because he's trying to fish for the escape failed. The second Dizzy actually teched a back throw was the one time he went to front and got the escape failed. Like, Video Games Yo's throw mind game in this set has just been incredible.
It really is. Great jump kick, another
crushing blow!
Stagger. Oh!
Into the same advantage as before.
Nice little block on the overhead.
Oh, no punish on the shoulder charge. That's unfortunate. Oh, but that fatal blow is there. This is kill health. He has to watch it.
The level of patience that we're seeing displayed by Video Games Yo right now. He's just not going to press anything. But this is still kill territory for Dizzy. Video Games Yo with the smallest amount of health.
Oh, there it is.
Yes, jab trying to backdash.
Final round. Fight.
Now, I wonder if...
You really could see how differently Video Games Yo plays this when they're pretty much even on life though, right? When he has so much health to work with. You can really afford to just completely slow it down and take his time. I think it's the more he just kind of loses the life deficit, the more you see him being a little bit eager. And again, that's the third time he's tried to get in between the amplified rings. And what a read on that uppercut. Breakaway is forced out.
Really clever to acknowledge that Video Games Yo was going to hit confirm that down 3 into a throw.
There's no breakaway though. If he gets tagged here, it's going to really suck.
Yeah, no breakaway for both players. I think if any of them get opened up right now, it is going to hurt. Video Games Yo with his fatal blow as well. But Dizzy with the health advantage.
Oh! So big trade for him. Oh, and Dizzy actually doesn't mind shooting for behind the own rings. And there's the
using air grab.
Air control coming through. Dizzy going to take another.
Sony
Oh wait, no, that's his first, right? That's 1-1.
Yeah, that is the first. So that's 1-1. But yeah, this is a very back and forth set between
This
the two
is
right now.
exactly what I was hoping we would see. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I had no idea how to call this one. I genuinely think either player could win. I know that's like the generic commentators trope when they they don't want to predict, but genuinely, I can see either of these taking it.
Yeah, it's really hard to call it because both players have just shown that they're phenomenal players, but
Sonya,
they don't have this kind of this predictability to them because both players can pop off at any moment.
I do wonder if they've played in the past, and if they have, how much they do. Because I know they're both players that, like, they play all day, right? Like, sun up, sundown. They do... I mean, obviously, Video Games Yo is a big fan of Kombat League. You know, he reached 10,000 points in Kombat League this season.
Ridiculous, 10,000.
Kind of wild. But I know he also plays a lot of sets, whereas I know Dizzy does almost exclusively sets. And I wonder if they've played each other in the past. I mean, I can't say I know if they have. But Video Games Yo, that's one of the things that really is scary about him, is just his sound fundamentals, but then his willingness to just throw out shoulder to charge. It really is like you're playing against Ultimate MK3 Shao Kahn AI at times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, and then out of nowhere, into point and nasty comment. Unfortunately, though, sometimes it pays off and sometimes it doesn't, as now he finds himself with a half life bar deficit almost. Hang on a minute. Speak too soon.
He's starting to, you know, find his momentum. Gonna start snowballing from over here. He's started to use the 1-1 a lot more as well now that's set.
Now
He's already conditioned Dizzy for the single jabs.
Dizzy went for the anti-air control again and got counter hit for it. At this health, he has to be really careful. Oh, wake up buttons! Counter hit no less too. Dizzy mistiming that meaty and paying the ultimate price.
Round 2, fight!
Oh, that was bold. Wonder what that
Perhaps
was.
it was a back one from Crouch. Nice block on the overhead from Dizzy.
Yeah, Dizzy is going to have those reactions for sure. No, I so rarely see Nightwolf's up 3. I forget what it looks like. It's just the boot off the ground.
Yeah, the boot.
Oh!
To reflect that, but is it really worth the risk? I think
Doesn't
it's
seem like it.
well, he got the crushing blow, which only kind of evened out the health bars. Dizzy's not got that much of a lead, especially not now after hitting the.
Not with the shoulder charge. Like one shoulder charge into Oki, into Chip or whatever. And you can see Dizzy, he doesn't want to just fling projectiles. As soon as that shoulder charge is a threat, or advancing string into fatal blow, like when you're playing a 950 health character, it's even scarier.
That is true. You have to be extra cautious.
Oh!
Nice down 2.
Almost worried that wasn't going to work.
Final round.
With Dizzy's ratio of anti-airs being stuffed. Now, the first arrow of Nightwolf does the most damage of all 3 of the amped versions, so it's like, as long as the first one trades, that's kind of not terrible for him. Oh, good confirm.
No, I really like how he goes for the very simplistic confirm, just getting the shoulder afterwards, because
Oh,
of
for
the,
sure.
The Oki and the extra damage that you get just for getting the jump kick.
But he also, I love the way he gets the shoulder charge and then he walks back a little bit, because he wants to make sure he can cover the wake up forward roll too. Worst thing you can do is finally close in on someone playing in this kind of dry style and then just overcommit, they roll, and then you die for going in the one time you could go in.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Nice
the delay.
to the 1-1-1.
And there it is. There's that Nightwolf rush down. Oh,
Situation.
Finish her.
and there it is, just going into the shoulder charge for the chip damage. And Video Games Yo, we are trading games back and forth. First it was video games, and it was Dizzy. Now it's video games again. This is the definition of back and forth.
Yeah, it's kind of like how we expected it to go, really, right? Both players are just absurdly strong, very like, you know, top of the UK talent, top of, you know,
Top
international
of the European talent,
competition.
man.
Yeah.
They're getting to that next echelon.
I mean, you know, Video Games Yo causing quite a lot of, I will say, upsets at Celtic Throwdown as well.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Being the underdog in that tournament, and you know, he's a crowd favorite, to be honest. Like, I think it's the characters he plays. You know, the Shao Kahn really gets people flowing. Like people get hype over picks like that. And Dizzy, on the other hand, has just been, traveling out to all of the pro competition events that he could attend, and he's been doing just really well in very high pressure situations, traveling internationally.
They both
to
have
the
some
US.
serious contenders under their belt, right? They've
for
got good results, they've got consistency. It's just Video Games Yo started competing a little bit later, so we're kind of thinking of, how it will match up here right now, because fundamentally, Dizzy is in a position that he can make the pro competition finals on points. Video Games Yo, in order for him to do it, will require, he has to win an American event, he has to do really, really well. So, if you're talking intercontinental opportunity, Video Games Yo kind of needs this more than Dizzy does, Video Games Yo definitely needs to win an intercontinental event, because that's probably his best shot at getting into the pro competition finals. So he's going to be hungrier for this.
And something that's really crazy to me is that both of these players are still sponsored, aren't they?
Yeah, right now neither of these players are sponsored. They're both free agents.
And the level of talent that they have is it's easily up there with the world's best.
The UK has had players worth sponsoring for a long time. I really hope we eventually see information, but that's a discussion for another day. My bias will be elsewhere.
1-1-1 catching Dizzy right there, getting the confirm into the double bounce.
Look at that
corner carry,
dude! I know.
Ridiculous.
That was like 60% of the screen. Good lord.
He's actually playing Tekken. That was just straight wall carry, but
I was just thinking
choosing
Raiden.
to just walk
MKX
back.
Raiden.
Yeah, that too. Nightmare fuel.
That's not a bad trade at all for video games. That arrow, I believe it does 1% more than the ring. I could be wrong, but I believe it's a little bit more.
Tried to stop video games pressing buttons.
I swear, honestly, that low in the corner may as well be unblockable.
Oh, after the back one before.
The back one low, yeah, it's insane. Now, I like this from Video Games, Joe. He's actually pulling the match out of the corner. Even though he had corner pressure on paper, you don't want to give Sonya the chance to just reverse the fortune. He's going to play with that distance.
Kick you into the dead. But hit confirm, beautiful hit confirm from Dizzy right there. Young Man reactions, and either way, this set is now tied up at 2-2. We couldn't have possibly asked for more in the Winners Finals as well. Both these players just showcasing that, either one of them just takes so much control in these games, but they do have a habit of just playing very steamrolly playstyles. But for some reason, they can't seem to, in that last round especially, I don't really feel like either...
They're all close games, there's no two ways about it. They're close games through and through. It is two very fundamentally solid players. They're not taking too many risks, with the exception of every now and then Dizzy will just commit to an option, be it the overhead or the low, and Video Games might just go for just a shoulder charge from downtown. But I feel like that's partly what makes them so scary as players, right? Because they both know, and this is such an important skill. It's not just about being a good player and understanding the game as much as you can, and having the execution to get all your reactions on point, and being able to see something, press the right button, not drop the combo, know your Oki. It's also about knowing when it's time to kind of do something a little bit wacky, Because if you think about it, when Dizzy does something wacky and he's committing to a 50-50 in a situation he kind of doesn't need to, what's his reward for that? Big combo, big damage, good knockdown. Whenever we see Video Games just throw out a shoulder charge, what's the reward for that? Oki starts his offense game, right? Get the throws on deck.
Yeah, he can do it. He just did it successfully right there. So he managed to reflect in between the energy rings and got the amplified one sent straight back to Dizzy.
Oh, there's the combo. Dizzy not going to drop these links. Keeps it. Doesn't want to go for the ender, I don't think. I think he'd rather just have the knockdown. Oh, and there's another low. Keeping it simple. Yeah, that's enough.
Clean round from Dizzy TT.
That is a good clean Sonya round through and through. When you've got the execution for those ring cancels, oh, this is very quickly escaping Video Games. Oh no, shoulder charging into the ring, into a throw. This is not looking good for our hero. Oh, hang on a minute.
Kick. Dizzy does not have breakaway. One open up in the corner, that is it. This is gonna hurt.
Spending both of them, he's coming off the bar. That's a big damage combo for Nightwolf, and he gets opened up again. The club slamming down. He's walking back. He does not want to deal with that corner. And again, the commitment from Dizzy.
Punish.
And wow, Video Games Yo from out of nowhere pulls back around that has completely just gone out of favor and drags it back. And we're on match point now for both players. Preemptive Reflect done a little bit too early, but he keeps himself safe.
Video Games Yo just not wanting to press anything over here. He's just going to gradually work his way in against it. Nice neutral jump kick confirmed into the shoulder.
Honestly, we haven't really seen any of those big neutral jump reads this set from Video Games. He's been doing it so much in this top 8, but not now. But now he's pulling out in the last round. Oh!
Forcing the breakaway. He does have a crushing blow on the throw. Dizzy, smart to the neutral jump kick.
That was a crucial breakaway. You do not want to give Slay that opportunity. Another throw.
Crushing blow.
Oh, boy.
My God. One more throw is going to do it for Video Games Yo, but I don't think he even needs that. He's just going to sit back and throw arrows. He's gonna
he can hold these. He can hold them, get the bar back, regenerate the meter, chip out. Shoulder charge!
Oh,
there it is!
Video
Games
Games
UMK3 to 2019. The Rhino charge is winning games, and Video Games Yo is going to be moving into the grand finals of the winner's side on the back of a beautiful 5-game set.
Man, this guy is a monster. You know, back-to-back grand finals both weeks.
I think
and
you'll find
he's
it
showing.
there.
Oh, well, I feel bamboozled.
Bamboozled?
But
sorry, I gotta do it. That's your fault. You left that on the table. That's like your fault.
Why have I done this? Why did I do myself dirty?
I said it, but it was your responsibility. Continue.
Sad face. Anyway, Video Games Yo, he's showing that he deserves to be up here. He has done everything just by beating everyone. It's not the players he's beating as well are just very, very exceptionally talented players. Like,
I mean, look at his journey in this tournament alone, right? In fact, I wonder if I can. I'm gonna quickly go to Video Games' profile on Smash GG and have an exact look at who he had to take out. Because even today alone, it's been Asada Matza and Dizzy TT. But he had to be his first match of the tournament was Pro Stunner, which was 2-1. Karama, Demon Hands, Juicy Joe. So he had to play two of today's top 8 before this top 8 even begun. He had Pro Stunner round 1 and he had Juicy Joe for top 8. You know, like this is a guy that has been he just come out of nowhere. You know, like that is the story of Video Games Yo. He just came out of nowhere, played a lot of online with Shao Kahn, was reached out to, you know, and was told, hey man, you're pretty good. Do you want to go to tournaments? It was like, what tournaments? He was told, here, there's the London tournament because you're from London. He went to the tournament, did well, went to Versus Fighting, did well, went to Chaotic Throwdown, got top 8, beat some of the best players in the world, and here he is taking it over Asada Matza, who beat him last week, and Dizzy TT, who is currently in the runnings for making pro competition finals. What a journey in like 2 months.
Definitely. Couldn't have said it better myself. And the thing is, this kid has just got he's got such a good like mind and heart for this kind of competition as well. He was apologizing to the people that support him last week for his loss and him getting second. When
it's
in reality,
adorable.
it's like no, he has nothing to apologize for because he just did like the London, the UK, and the European scene all proud like in how he played. And on top of that, the Shao Kahn community, like none of us thought he could ever make grand finals, and then this guy's just proving us all wrong. And
I mean, how much do you want to bet though? Like when he goes on Twitter and he's like, "I'm sorry, I didn't win." There is that one guy that doesn't get it, that he doesn't have to actually apologize. It's just like,
yeah,
you should be.
He's just like, it's okay,
really bad.
It's okay, hun X.
Right now, but without wasting any time, we are going straight back into losers, our match for losers finals. We are losing semi right now. It's going to be that Pro Stunner versus Inastian.
I expect this match to be very explosive because both these players like to play very aggressively.
Oh, for sure. I feel like Inastian's a little bit more chaotic, but Pro Stunner just... I mean, I feel like his rush down is cleaner, but Inastian is a bit more unpredictable. But I think Baraka's good against unpredictable, you know? Baraka, he has so much good buttons, like barely any whiff recovery on a lot of his better moves. Really good range on buttons, fast buttons, like... He's very good at just not overexerting himself, right?
Blow.
Yeah, that's going to say that he is going to get opened up by a counter hit crushing blow.
But you know, I don't think that you know, if Anassian starts doing like what we've seen before, if he starts doing the Hail Mary teleports, Baraka's not the character you want to do that against, because every one of those punishes is going to hurt.
If you are a character in any way that some of their strongest suits are unsafe or run the risk of being punished, Baraka is not the opponent you want, because he is just going to delete your life bar like in 2 hits and you die.
Okay, and there it is. Yeah.
I mean,
that's exactly what we were
fair,
just talking about, but it was all or nothing at that point.
Yeah, but also like any character in the game would have killed him at that health.
Yeah.
But it's more that like, you know,
if he just tries to make an early read on the Blade Sparks, probably not.
You don't really want to be dealing with that. Blade Spark and Low Slide isn't a bad trade for Noob, to be fair. But the big thing is just,
that was unfortunate. He may have tried to block something.
That may have been, I think that was a flawless block attempt. Then any other situation, you'd see a neutral jump too like that.
Yeah, I have no idea either. It must have
What was that from first? They just did a running, like a dash-in standing forward. What if he was trying to preemptively catch a jump?
Potentially. I also think that.
Oh, he's got a defensive bar. He's gonna cash out to a crushing blow.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt, and the damage over time is gonna put Anastian at a very small amount of life as well. Doesn't even matter. He's gonna get the empty jump throw.
The empty jump throw was such a good decision as well, because he had, so that ticks for 10% unscaled, right? That crushing blow ticks for 10%. But you can't die from damage over time like that, right? If it's a crushing blow tick damage, you can't die to it. So he had 150 health after. So he probably thought, well, if I sit here and block and he commits to something unsafe, I'm not going to die to chip and I can, you know, block it and survive it. So what does he do? Empty jump throw. Can't block throws.
He's got a really like clever understanding of how he needs to close out his games as well. Like he's always got a very clear image of a win condition in his head. Because the way he's closed out games against everyone in this top 8 has just been clever. Like they're always clever. Like, you know, ending a combo early and then going for the grab as well to guarantee the kill with the crushing blow. It's just Pro Stunner's. He's got a very aware mind of the grand scheme of things, and Anastian's just got to like be careful about taking any risks against him. I think he should be working on finding a safer way to just kind of pressure Pro Stunner, or just to get him to bend.
Honestly,
to
like
almost.
the big thing, he's getting jumped in on a lot, but it's not jumping kicks. He's getting jumped in on by a lot of Baraka jumping punches, which Noob Saibot can anti-air with down 4. Obviously, anti-airing Baraka's jump kick is one of the hardest things in the game to deal with. But we're not really seeing Pro Stunner go to it too much.
Nice little blocking the 1-1-2.
Oh, what a pickup!
I was calling that.
Wow, it's to 355 damage for that. Yeesh.
God.
That don't tickle. Oh, he just slapping him. Slap the twice face.
He's just like holding.
I bet a slap from Baraka would hurt a lot when he's got those like blades in his arms. That's like some serious weight for that slap.
Oh, the jump back. Call out.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean, you may as well
I
throw
feel
it
like
out.
that. Yeah, actually, on the contrary, I very much disagree with how Anastian is doing it. I feel like that's happening a fair few times. Not in just this set today, but in a lot of the other previous times to the top 8, where he'll get low on health, and that is typically when you begin to see him go for those teleports. But to be fair, he is playing Dark Sabbath, so, I mean, the reward has gone way up for it. In fact, these Dark Sabbath, this is 2 characters that very much will punish each other hard.
That's true. I wonder if he can do the optimal as well on that screen.
Oh, I've seen him do it online. Like I said, Anastian is a big advocate for just online play. I know he has those optimals down. But obviously, without the threat of low slide, it's a lot easier to kind of just block Noob Saibot and wait for his turn to be over and take your turn. Without the low slide to kind of condition you. Oh, he's gonna get opened up though.
That was Stagger City right there for Pro Stunner.
Oh boy.
Got it. He is going to use this to kill the jump down towards 1 into the ender right there.
I feel like this is definitely a rough matchup for Anastian. I don't think it's a Noob Saibot thing. I think it really is just what has been opening him up, like the auto shimmies. Baraka is so good at all of that. Anastian also, like, Noob Saibot isn't known for the best anti-airs in the game. He can anti-air, like his down 4 is good for it. He can standing 1. But Baraka's jump-ins are better than average. So I feel like everything that Anasian seems to be struggling with, Baraka does very well, and Pro Stunner is very good at enforcing it.
Yeah, I agree with everything you're saying. I was thinking more about anti-airing Baraka and the down 4. So noobs down 4. If you're already in a crouching state, I wonder if down 4 would be easier to anti-air Baraka's jumping kick. Because,
I imagine so.
The arc it hits at, and the fact that your hurt box is lowered as well, so the kick would have to come out later. Like it would have to be a deep jump in just to actually, connect that.
Cybot.
But it doesn't really matter anyway. It was just a hypothetical for me to think about because Pro Stunner is not doing the jumping kicks. He's just doing the jumping punches, and
Colosseum.
Because
he's
they've
using
been
a lot of
working.
pokes. Yeah, he does a lot of down 3s into down 1s. He was doing the same thing on Scorpion as well. So I'm guessing he's just catching his opponents just like to press buttons at certain times, or thinking that they can do something, and in reality he's just stealing the turn back.
Round 1. Fight.
Now this is a bad situation for Nasian to be in, though. He has a bit of a mountain to come back. Pro Stunner going to be getting things off the ground early. I like it. Last game, he went for 1-1-2 immediately in his force block. This time he goes 1-1 throw, maybe expecting the force block again. Baraka, one of those characters that can really use his flawless blocking gaps to his advantage in his offense if you really think outside the box.
I had
a big
realized that Pro Stunner already had the failed throw tech on that, but yeah, the back throw working out very well for noob sideball right there for Nasian, and he does have a crushing blow on the forward throw as well. He did rack on another escape failed.
That's the scary thing about crushing blow throw characters is losing one doesn't make you any less scary because then you just get the the ever-present threat of the other throw. But there's a crushing blow coming with Pro Stunner. Back roll to try and get through. Chip damage. Oh no, not enough. He could have. Oh no! He's pressing again. The exact same situation. Anasian almost every time is falling for the 1-1 unblock, and Pro Stunner was ready to hit confirm, and he steals the round right from under the feet of Anasian and brings himself to match point just instantly.
Round 2.
Yeah, exactly. That was Magic Pixel, no last breath. That was a tough situation, but the composure to know he would survive the chip. Look at the walk down. But again, no anti-air attempt. I think Anasi just does not want to reject. No extended here. Big hit there. Counter hit, no less. Crushing blow comes out. Break the face. 300 damage.
And falls block on the 1.2.
Ooh, okay. Now, he must have the clones by now. He must have the clone crushing blow.
He probably does. So the next hit confirm, you could just confirm that into the straight tackle and then cash out. Oh, the air
instant jump. That was beautiful, dude. That was such a Baraka thing to do. Just instant jump. Yeah. I'll anti-air you with me. Oh. And that's again, he isn't even trying to anti-air. He just does not want to. Oh, extend too much. Oh wait, defensive bar's not there. Defensive bar's not there.
Might be enough to close it out. Next touch is gonna take it. Oh, that's a big whiff.
He could have
punish.
And Nasian had fatal blow. He could have killed.
Oh, the throw's gonna take it.
Oh, give me that on. That's a snack, lunch, breakfast, whatever time you're having it. Baraka's going to do it, and that's going to be the win for that Pro Stunner. He's going to move on to losers finals, where he's going to play against Dizzy TT, which does mean that we are guaranteed an all UK top 3.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. All UK top 3.
Oh, well, I'm not supposed to be biased, am I? Oh, isn't that just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes? Where did Baraka get that? Especially in that costume where he's not wearing clothes. I'm not going to ask that question.
He clearly hides things under his loincloth. He has, like, a bag. You just got to look out for it.
I'd honestly rather not. But that does mean that Pro Stunner does mean that we're going to get Dizzy versus Pro Stunner, most likely Sonya versus Baraka. But Anasian, you know he's not going to be happy with how that one went, where that whiff throw was there. He had fatal blow, but he whiff punish for down 4 instead. Just that one moment lapse of not quite the right thing. But I will say though, good games to Anasian. Well done for getting so far. I'm really happy to see you get this far in the tournament. I believe this is his first kind of like real performance in a tournament like this. So I'm really happy for you. Thanks for entering and getting so far. But that does mean that we now have 2 matches left to go before the end of the day. We have our losers finals, which is going to be Dizzy TT versus that Pro Stunner. And the winner of that is going to be against Video Games Yo, who has been playing Nightwolf all day and is sitting in the grand finals on the winner's side, waiting for that match to finish. But speaking of waiting, we're going to wait for a few minutes because we have a break to go to. We'll be right back, my friends. Don't go anywhere because the IKK Online EU West Top 8 will continue in a few minutes' time.
See you soon.
As we get down to our losers finals in this online tournament, this is the Intercontinental Kombat EU West, where we started off with our top 8 today, and we are down to 3. We have our losers finals ready to go, which is Dizzy TT versus That Pro Stunner. Fun fact, both of these players are in losers because they lost to who is currently in winner's side of the grand final, which is Video Games Yo, who has been using Nightwolf all day, as this is the first official tournament in either the pro competition, intercontinental, like anything, anything that has happened. It's the first time we've seen Nightwolf be played on stream, as he's now legal. I believe his ban was lifted yesterday. And to quickly remind you exactly why that is, new characters have a 30-day ban when they're out to obviously give people time to learn the character, learn the matchup, and make sure that nothing broken, no exploits or infants or anything like that exist. That's why the ban is there, and Nightwolf's ban was lifted yesterday. But we'll talk about Nightwolf again in a little bit as we get down to our losers finals, which is Dizzy TT and That Pro Stunner.
Yeah, both of these players, as you said, did lose to Video Games Yo, but they have managed to tear through everyone else in their path, now leading down to just both of these players having to face off against each other to determine who's actually going to make it into the grand finals on the loser side. Dat Pro Stunner's been showing us, really, really solid gameplay with Baraka, really just like very pressure-heavy gameplay, and Dizzy has just shown that, he's just consistent, very solid. He's deserving of his position in that top 10, or amongst the top 10 for the Mortal Kombat's pro competition points as well for the finals. But with the IKK, that was a really nice block up too. But with the IKK, it really is just about qualifying for DreamHack Winter. And then
it's a first place show, man. There's no two ways about it. These are two players that they're gunning for grand finals. You want to win this tournament. You win this tournament, you make it to DreamHack Winter, and if you win at DreamHack Winter, you get into the pro competition as a European entrant. It is so important for these players. Especially, for example, Dat Pro Stunner. Dizzy TT has a lot of points in the leaderboard. Pro Stunner doesn't. So he's going to want to win this for sure. But Dizzy is playing, keeping him at arm's reach as expected. This is the best way for Sonya to play this matchup. And we're seeing good force blocks already. Big jump in, sweep, not quite in range.
Doesn't get the combo. That was a really late breakaway. I don't know if I agree with that. He just put himself out of defensive bars for as long as they take to recharge in this round now. If Dizzy gets an opener right in the beginning, then he's going to have to hold that. That was a really nice trip up. It doesn't confirm it into the gunner.
No, quite surprised not to see him go for the gutter there. Big neutral jump, though. Absolutely one of the best things about Baraka is that the extended range you get on the neutral jump punch just gives you so much anti-throw read potential. We're going to see the cash out. Yep, we're going for the
combo, 400 damage and taking.
Chop. Oh, wow. Just one slap at a time. That's going to do it. Yep, that was a very strong offensive sequence from Pro Stunner there. All that damage just disappearing. Now, Pro Stunner, with the health he has, he can definitely afford to go for some trades on the projectiles, but he has to be careful. Must not let Dizzy out of this corner if he can help it.
Oh, the neutral jump to catch Dizzy trying to cross over, jump his way out of the corner.
See Dizzy, he does not want to move it in unless there's a good reason for it. He's perfectly fine, and that's exactly why, the second he goes in with a button, we're punished by 360 damage. Austin. Ooh.
Pro Stunner just opting to not do anything, just gonna wait for his moment. Putting Dizzy into fatal blow territory, though, that is dangerous. Oh, there it is, right as I say. It gets caught with a max range back one. And Dizzy confirming that into the full string, into the fatal blow. Taking the first game.
Now, that's not the first time we've seen Dizzy hit confirm that string either, right? When he's got that fatal blow loaded, he's looking to get it. The advancing button, you whip a button, it's going to be curtains for you. But an immediate confirm, and Dizzy's going to be taking that. I really liked the way that Pro Stunner played it, though. I feel like it really benefited him to take it as slow as he did. Yeah. I think it's no surprise that he was taking his time until he got Dizzy in the corner, because if you can get Sonya cornered, like it's a mixture of Baraka in the corner is a monster. Sonya without the screen to work with is kind of left with the jump kick and just the back one game, which I mean it's effective. It's definitely enough, but it's taking away the threat of the non-stop ring blasts. As someone like Baraka, I think really helps the matchup a lot.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, one game though for Dizzy. Dizzy versus video games was a close nail biter of a match. You know he's going to be hungry for that run back. And Pro Stunner lost to video games in the first match of this tournament.
Yeah,
like,
he could have the grudge match. The grudge match over the run back.
Hey, remember me? Remember me how many rounds ago? I'm back.
The guy you see in episode 1 turning up 5 seasons later.
It's like when you beat your rival at the start of the game and you come back at the end and they're like super powered.
Pro Stunner just not committing to anything. He's essentially just playing the timer right now. He's comfortable to just sit there and then take the trades because he has the health advantage. That was a really clean
that, but he actually didn't. He actually wasn't winning that zoning war at all, but now he's lost the defensive bar as well. Escape failed. This is bad for Dizzy.
Ooh. Down 4. Gets caught with the 1-1 auto shimmies. They are crazy.
No, this is where it gets a little bit rough for Dizzy. He's creeping closer to that left wall. Are we going to see the crushing blow cash out?
If he cancels the chop early, no, he's going to go for the crushing blow on the back towards 4 and that gutted.
That could have been death.
Whiffs.
If that neutral jump connected, that would have been death almost, I think, for sure. Yeah, the ticking damage. That was unfortunate. I think he tried to press back 1-2, got an input error right there. But the stand 1 into chop. That Pro Stunner stealing that game entirely. That was very fast. Yeah, I feel like that's Baraka, right? That's what an optimum, I should say, Baraka game looks like. When you get every jump in is going to connect. You're going to be able to read moves, neutral, get big neutral jumps. Load your crushing blow throw, have the threat of that, because someone like Dizzy, who is as good at taking throws as he is, the second he sees the escape failed and you have 50-50 throws, he is looking for you to throw, which might mean he's a little bit more open to being hit by the 1-1s, these kind of auto shimmies and stuff like that. But that is what Baraka can do. Baraka is one of the best characters, if not the best in the game, at just deleting you with a good sequence or two.
Yeah, his set play potential is very good. He doesn't
need crushing blows to do it.
He just needs to hit 1-1.
Exactly.
Or get the opener or something.
Or a
he
jump
just
in.
To gutted.
Or a down 2. Or a counter hit crushing blow. Or maybe a forward 4.
Yeah.
Or an anti-air.
Yeah. A plethora of things to delete.
Yes. And the list goes on, as they say.
Pro Center did spin the bar on that. Blade Sparks, unfortunately, the second one didn't come out.
That's the worst kind of trade. If you are playing this projectile war and you spend bar and you get hit before it comes out, that is like worst case scenario. That would have worked again. I don't even think Pro Stunner was expecting that to connect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's no good. Waking up into the crushing blow ring. He's looking for something big here.
Oh,
he committed! Oh, did he not to spend it? Did he actually have enough hits to spend it?
How many do you need? 8 or 10?
I think it's 9.
Oh. He may not have had enough hits. I think he built 9 during the gutted.
Yeah, there may have been like 1 hit too few. Regardless, though, almost made it back, but Dizzy, you really saw Pro Stunner there fishing for the 1-1-2. Oh! Funny.
Slow game from both players.
Now this is really what Dizzy wants. He needs to keep him away. We're seeing that damage, right? One big jump in, one big hit. That's why you need to do it.
Oh, the poke. Challenging the 1-1-2.
He could afford to trade. Oh, but not if he
Down
takes 4 of
two.
those. Oh. Uh-oh, this is quickly beginning to escape Dizzy again.
This is, yep, starting. Pro Stunner starting to snowball. Oh, he gets hit by the fatal blow.
What? From there?
I saw that yesterday. I was surprised.
Oh wow, he finally did it. Wow, that was. I mean, actually, you know what I said before about these young players and their ability to just do something a bit wacky every now and then. That right there is a perfect example of it. He had a round to spare. If he died with the fatal blow, I mean, you're against Baraka anywhere near about 450 health. It's not safe, so you can blow straight through your ability to even fatal blow.
Yeah.
Maybe it's best to just do something like that, right? A fatal blow from a range that it's like the least expected at a time. It's unorthodox, and it works. You know, that's why both Baraka and Sonya are good at doing that. Both Baraka and Sonya have very similar fatal blows. Fast, mids, advance, forward, like very good for that use right there.
Well.
Yeah. The 3 of them have very similar fatal blows.
They're just quick.
And they're all amazing. Interruptions, pokes, like whiff punishes, whatever, right? They tick a lot of boxes. Now, Pro Stunner. You know he's not going to want to go down like this. He's going to want to get that game back, but question is, can he? I feel like Dizzy is a hard player to kind of crack into in that respect.
Yeah, I think Dizzy's also trying to play as squirmy as he can because a lot of these jump kicks that Pro Stunner is getting, he just can't convert them.
Yeah, it's like Dizzy. Yeah, it's like he's crouching and he's not getting knocked up high enough to get anything, or he's like just jumping at the last minute, or something that's hard to convert from.
Whereas I don't know what Pro Stunner's thinking about the jump and punches, because that's going to be a punish on the gutted. But the jump and punches were working out very well for him on reads of energy ring tosses.
Oh,
right there we go. Down one gutted.
Whoa.
Very nice damage. Okay, now this is still kill territory. But either player can just die over here from a single good opener.
And Dizzy doesn't quite have his fatal blade either. Oh, that's it. He's dead.
That is big. Yep. Oh, he actually did break away. He was waiting for it too.
He's taking the defensive things.
I think this is dead. Yeah.
That's definitely dead for sure. Yeah.
And Dizzy is without defensive bars as well in this round. If Pro Stunner can, abuse his power early, then he could potentially do a lot of damage, if not take the game very quickly, and it will just slip right through Dizzy's fingers.
But it was still close, so I wonder if that's the idea. I wonder if the idea there was, Dizzy was almost like banking on surviving with the defensive things. So he was willing to go for the breakaway and maybe get out. Oh, anti-air ring blast.
He is next to that low interactable as well.
Oh, big jump. Perfectly timed. Oh.
Down two counter.
Already, actually, I don't think he used the crushing blow. I don't think it was a crushing blow. I think it was in the air. Oh, big jump kick. Dizzy. Okay, this is a bad situation for Pro Stunner to be in. Hasn't got his fatal blow. He is back to the wall and he hasn't got any defensive bar either. Oh.
Walk back down 3.
Oh, good block from the low. Pro Stunner calling it out. Risky business, but he makes the right decision. Oh, clean out, yeah.
Back 2.
Oh, just straight up wake up jump for a stunner. Oh, I like the use of the extended button. This poke game's so scary right now. Big throw. What's the read? So dangerous. Remember, she's a 950 health character. That life bar isn't as big as it looks.
But he's going to get thrown in towards the corner now as well.
Yeah, this is how Dizzy's going to play this. He hasn't got to worry about fatal blow anymore. Oh! Max range, he didn't connect. Oh, but these rings one at a time. Oh, and he gets tagged. Yep, and he's dead before he gets launched enough to go for the breakaway. Dizzy TT is going to win losers finals and secure his run back against video games, yo. I feel bad for Pro Stunner, dude. What a story that would have been. To get knocked into losers, literally game 1 of the tournament against video games, yo, who is now in grand finals, be this close to getting that run back and just not being able to make it work in the end. Dizzy, too powerful, too powerful.
But either way, we have to give props to Pro Stunner for making it this far. far initially for getting knocked into losers round 1. That was a very, very impressive run because he would have had to play more games as well to qualify into the
Losers
top
round
8.
1 all the way to 3rd place. Like, kudos, man. Much respect for that.
Yeah, all with
again,
Baraka too, didn't he?
Oh yeah, like
and Scorpion.
Well, and Scorpion when it was needed, but
yeah,
like vast majority Baraka. He had 11 wins in this tournament. He had to defeat.
Wow.
He defeated Nemesis. Okay, so it was game 1 for video games because video games was seeded. So actually, no, his first one was DQ. So he had to play against video games. He lost. He had to play against Kurama, Demon Hands, Dunax was another. Shao Kahn player, and Boki, of course. He had to beat Boki for top 8. So.
Oh, is Dunax the one that plays True Khan?
I believe so. I saw him in the online event last week as well, doing well against strong players. I haven't seen him play myself personally in a while, but that was it. But that does mean, my friends, that we have reached that point once again. We are in grand finals territory, and it is what I think a lot of us expected to see, looking at the top 8 players we had. But grand finals, Video Games Yo on the winner's side and Dizzy TT from the losers. Now, we have to remember, this is an Intercontinental Combat qualifier. If you win this event, you qualify for the Intercontinental Finals, which is taking place at DreamHack Winter. If you win the Intercontinental Finals at DreamHack Winter, you qualify for the Pro Competition as a guaranteed slot in. You just make the World Finals. Dizzy TT is in a position that he might be able to make the finals through points, but Video Games Yo really kind of needs the Intercontinental. So this is what it boils down to. Video Games Yo with that Nightwolf against the Sonya, which is going to be the matchup. This was a good set. This was a Game 5 last hit territory in winners finals, and this is going to be sick.
It was indeed. We're going to go straight into it. Video Games Yo starting things off with the amplified bow and arrow. And just send them back to the center.
Nightwolf really has been the star of this show, man. Like this Nightwolf has been so good all day.
Now
he only has one more set to make it through.
What Dizzy just did over there, where he got rid of the sword and the interactable. Dizzy has a habit of using interactables at moments he finds the most opportunity to jump from them, and then to land on people with a jump kick and then convert it into the 1-3-4. So I don't know if by removing that he's just created a jump, an accessible interactable to do just that. But if it does work out for later for him, then I've called it. But Dizzy does like to do those things. Either way, not too relevant right now.
Even seeing his movement forward, though, video games here, we haven't really talked about it much, but he still is like the best at the block dash movement. He is the best in the business at doing that. And even Nightwolf moves faster forwards by doing it. It's really scary.
Yeah, he's playing the 3 characters that just like excel so much from it. I mean, bar Sub-Zero or Kotal Khan, but I do think that Jax, Nightwolf, and Shao Kahn will benefit quite a lot from that movement style, and Video Games Yo has basically...
Especially for Nightwolf, especially in combination with what else this character can do.
Yeah, the wave dash in 1-1 is a very, very threatening tool. And it was actually right there, so Dizzy did remove the sword from the interactable so that he could use it to jump from. It just closes in a lot of space, and he doesn't have to worry about the arrows like that as well.
Oh, there it is. The pressure game coming through. Nightwolf pressure. It doesn't seem that complicated on paper, but it's very effective. Oh, on the chase down.
Spacing on that back roll as well, catching it with the forward 1-2 and then converting it. All of that corner carry. We went from the left side of the screen all the way to the right corner in a matter of seconds.
Do you think an argument could be made that Nightwolf has the best corner carry in the game?
I think it's arguable, yeah, because you'd have to be comparing it with Raiden, with Shao Kahn, but I do think it's definitely up there.
Oh, and again, Disney. I don't know how he does it. He's like the best in the business, I think, at using those jumping interactables, but actually getting hit from them. I've never seen anyone consistently get them as much. On Dizzy, one hit at a time. Oh! There's a big whip, but again, he doesn't want to follow it up. He is content to just play this little chip style, one special at a time. The second that last breath is gone, shoulder charge. Oh, he was out of range. Oh my goodness.
Oh,
that was such a fumbled situation at the end there. Video Games Yo he went for the chip out shoulder charge, but just spaced it wrong. Dizzy tried to whiff punish with the back one, but mistimed it, and it wasn't punished. There was a messed up punish from video games, and then a messed up punish again from Dizzy. The punish on the punish on the punish, and then eventually we saw it work. But video games, 1 game down, 2 to go, and he wins. You have to remember, he is winner's side. Dizzy's got to reset the bracket, which means that there's a lot more work for Dizzy to do. And if video games can take the first game, like, it's just giving himself that more of a safety net.
Definitely just easing the road ahead of him. I think he's pretty confident in his ability. They're going to get the same stage again.
Stand down.
Honestly, I'm so happy with how Nightwolf seems to be shaking the game up as well. Like Nightwolf is just such a scary character in the hands of a player like this.
Definitely, and on top of that, we're going to see a lot more Nightwolves, I presume, because now that he's tournament legal, across any other events.
The ban is lifted, the shackles are off.
Whoever has had that pocket Nightwolf as well, or whoever's been putting a lot of time into the character, I know that quite a few of the local players have been, but I definitely feel like this character is just, you know, he's hyped to watch as well. On top of already having a really strong, like, tool set, he's just got a very flashy looking kit.
Now, this is one hell of a lead for video games to start things off with right here.
It is.
And again, a clean punish.
Oh, really nice neutral jump air to wear right there with the jumping block.
Oh, spending both bars. We're going for optimals here. Recognizing that video games has used his defensive bar. And it's like, what? He just woke up!
My man just did wake up buttons into the fatal blow. No fear.
Oh, that is so unfortunate for Dizzy.
After eating like 44.5% as well from like 2 bars spent on that combo. You just ate an MKX combo and then woke up with buttons into fatal blow.
That was MKX to MK11 right there. And again, it was a good choice. You know, video games, he doesn't wake up with buttons every time, but if he thinks you're gonna miss time the immediate, he will. And if it's a button like the 111, if it hits, you're dead. On block, he's gonna be safe. You know, you have to meet it as your only option. And when he was that low on health, like that's the time to do something a bit crazy.
All right, catches with a 1-1. That 1-1 auto combo, not auto combo, auto shimmy. Sorry. Very, very strong tool. And with a character like Nightwolf who gets pushing blows in both directions, it's pretty menacing.
That extra layer, right, makes it scary. You see the immediate breakaway. Dizzy being a lot more restrained in his anti-air attempts this time, but video games, all over him. Oh, the whiff. Oh, the big jump in. Video games, He is on an absolute roll right now. He will not be stopped. This Nightwolf looking kind of scary.
Yeah, pretty scary, yeah. I mean, he's basically just... so he's had close games in this top 8. Like, a very close set with Asadimatsu, very close set with Dizzy. But right now, it's looking like it's just a steamroll. Like, Video Game CEO's momentum right now with Nightwolf is pretty absurd. He doesn't seem to be suffering as much against Sonya things as he was the first time he played Dizzy in this top 8.
He's playing with no fear and absolute confidence. You know, like even down to these decisions, right? Going for the wake up buttons, going for these big jump kicks that he's ready to confirm, right? Like in winners finals, there was definitely kind of like a lot of mutual respect, a long time, and some craziness. I feel like video games, because he has the safety net of winners side grand finals, he is just throwing it all out at Dizzy. Yeah. He's like, right, I'ma do what I want, and it is working to an absolute T. And he is 1 game away from winning the tournament and qualifying himself for the Intercontinental Finals. 1 game stands in between it now. Dizzy, I mean, he's loser side. This is going to be tough. He has to win the next 3 in a row and then reset the bracket to do it again.
He'll definitely have to pull some wonders out of the bag, but Dizzy is the kind of player who can do just that. Really nice spacing over there with the 1-3-4. The absolute max range on that down 3. Video games here usually he utilizes the nice throw technique again.
Now this is a good situation for Dizzy. We've got a bit of a slower game here, but this in a slower match, this life lead is all the more important. Oh, again he tried to anti-air. Now this could be the downfall. To get thrown out of a roll, no less, too. The second we see Dizzy try to... Oh! Is that death? No, not quite. 2 bars of last breath though. This won't be an easy chip out. Went for the Rhino charge, but
I respect the
nothing
attempt.
doing. Yeah, for sure. That could have been Oki that led to end of the game. It would have been fatal blow kill territory also. Would have been scary, but avoided by Dizzy as he manages to stabilize. I wonder if that's the play here.
Oh, the anti-air.
I've seen video games opt to go for a lot more kind of like counter projectiles, whereas traditionally he's kind of just been trying to work his way in, but oh wow, Dizzy finds the moment. Oh, the cheeky cancel.
Dizzy with all the momentum in the world right now.
Yeah, that was just a perfect textbook Dizzy game right there, you know? It was harassment with projectiles, establish a lead, keep the game at that magic range that you can anti-air, that you can hit buttons on you know, predictions of them coming in. I find that really is the range that Dizzy thrives. You know, with the amount of projectiles that Dizzy throws, you would assume that he just wants to play from full screen, but it couldn't be further from the truth. He really does kind of excel at that jump distance, right? He's going for projectiles to make you jump, projectiles to make you squirm and do weird stuff, and he's got advancing buttons that from that range will hit you. And in that game, he just managed to get it all working.
Sonya.
I mean, I respect the fact that he just uses, like, he will use that projectile game, that, like, the lane game, some people call it. It's because it works quite a lot, you know, against a lot of players. Like, if it's a solid game plan and it's constantly working for you, there's no reason not to use it, but it isn't his preferred game plan style. Like, it isn't his preferred style of play.
Now, 1 game on the board for Dizzy. We said before about how much he's got to work to bring this back. You know, video games, well, until the bracket is reset, gonna have that safety, that 1 game from winning. But, you know, this is also the worst time for him to lose it, right? Video games, he has only been entering tournaments for a couple of months. Are we going to be at a stage that he is, you know, so close to getting over the hurdle that now he's going to start, is he going to start second-guessing himself? Is he going to start not being as confident with these decisions as he was when he got to this point? Yeah, I fear that may be a situation that we're seeing here. Video games, he's just not playing with the same level of confidence that we saw in the start of this grand final. Oh, the counter hit no less. He's trying to stagger and Dizzy calls it out. 1 life bar away from tying it up, just like that, so quick. Dizzy
with that really quick adaptation as well, but I do agree with you saying that he isn't playing with as much confidence right now as well. Definitely compared to like how he was playing earlier, it's just not looking like he's got that much. You know,
I do hope he's not. I do hope he's not run out of steam. You know, I hope he hasn't kind of reached the end of whatever he was packing in the first couple of matches, and stuff like that. Just a raw down 2. Here we go, more of that.
I mean, even if he feels a bit burnt out with Nightwolf right now because of how Dizzy's playing, or has been playing for these past 2 games, because it looks like Dizzy's about to close this one out real quick. This is a really rough situation for video games to be in. But
I mean, she is 950 health. Might be impossible.
Oh, the overhead. Dizzy doesn't have the bar to break. Oh, he does.
Oh, that could have been it! Oh, wait a minute! Wait a minute! There's no defensive bar. Oh my god! The wake up fatal blow! Dizzy! Just not a care in the world for the offense, and a raw fatal blow is gonna just absolutely snuff that comeback before it could complete. Video games, that was a 70% to 0% health comeback he was making. That was so close. He got the hit too. He got the standing one.
Close as well. It's like as soon as I started saying that, like it was over for Dizzy, video games just like miraculously heard me. He felt it in his spirit and he started channeling the power of the gods.
He heard you. He's like, no, hell no, no way. I'm not gonna let you say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The sad thing is he got the hit as well. He went for 1-1 and the 1 was blocked, and the second hit connected. That if it had done 1-1-1 and he had fatal blow ready, oh, he could have won there.
But he is going to stick with Nightwolf. I imagine that there's no reason to play any of his other characters. Nightwolf probably does better than both of them, but he would know that better than anyone.
Nice.
Going into so now Dizzy is 2-1 up. He's only got 1 more game. He needs to reset the bracket, and Video Games needs to win 2 matches consecutively to actually take this tournament. Otherwise, he's
it's 2-2. Oh yeah, it's 2-2, right?
It's 2-2. 2-1.
I'm sure it's 2-2. Can we get confirmation?
It's 2-2.
Yeah, I was
It's either the bracket reset or it's the tournament win.
Oh, he's trying. I like him. He's really trying to go back to this kind of down 3 game, because that really is like one down 3 on hit is going to start Nightwolf's offense, but he is getting quite impatient here as he's lost a considerable amount of health. These projectiles, I mean, almost just projectiles, no less.
Now Sonya doesn't have the crushing blow on the energy rings anymore, but right now it's not looking too good for video games. Yo, he is going to have to really pull this one around.
I mean, Dizzy, yes. I mean, he's just tidied it up, man. Like, he was 2-0 down, like convincingly 2-0 down, no less too. But now 1 life bar away. That's all it's going to take to reset things. Video games, he needs this win so bad. He needs to make the Intercontinental Finals.
Now,
okay,
really
clean
nice
out
anti-air. A dash and jab. Try to confirm the down 3.
Oh, that's going to be hit. We confirm on the string. Good knockdown. Oh, tries to punish the roll a bit too slow, but going to get a full combo here. Spending both bars again. The crispy execution. Dizzy finds a full combo, drops the ender. That's a disastrous time to drop it, as now Video Games Yo has a way back into this game that he should not have.
Oh,
and that's going to be enough. And a fatal blow comes
big
through.
open, catching the backwards movement with the forward 1-2 and then confirming it, ending that combo into the fatal blow. Great stuff for Video Games Yo.
An opportunity granted by Dizzy dropping the combo too. That is not a situation Dizzy wanted to happen, but Video Games Yo, he is going to grip it with both hands, and he's on tournament point for the first time in a few games. This is reset or tournament point. We'll know soon. Video Games Yo losing that fatal blow, of course. That is an important resource not to have here, but I mean, he has other tricks up his sleeve. Nightwolf is not shy of big damage through those crushing blows.
Video Games Yo just needs to play as well as he's playing right now. He seems a lot more confident.
Wow, that was so dangerous. Okay, this is more of it. Big hit since the Rhino charge, but that fatal blow, the ever-present threat from Dizzy. You see him backing up. Video Games Yo does not want to extend anything.
Oh my god, he read him!
Oh, that was so beautiful. Oh, there's no defensive bar. Video Games Yo, he can wait. There it is.
Oh,
he cannot low profile in time, and that is gonna do it. Video Games Yo with literally an arrow to the knee. I can't believe that's what it came down to. Is gonna be winning this tournament from winner's side. So close to the reset, but he says, no, I'm gonna win this. I'm gonna qualify for the Intercontinental Finals, and we will see Video Games Yo at DreamHack Winter in a couple months' time. Actually, it's not that far away. Congratulations.
Yeah, really
My God, that was a good set. That was a good finals. That was a good bloody finals.
Really good, yeah. And the entirety of top 8, you know, is just really entertaining. But Video Games, you know, for a player that's barely been, you know, competing for a long time, he's just performed consistently at all of these events that he's been to, all of these tournaments, and everything that he's entered. Like, the few things he did enter. So Critical Combat, he got 2nd. And then you have the Revolver. He got 2nd over there as well. At Celtic, he got 4th. And
versus fighting, of course.
Versus fighting, he got 5th, no 7th.
Top 8, just top 8, top 8.
Top 8. And then you know, proceeding to get grand finals last week in the Intercontinental, and then winning it this week.
So that's a good point. Is this his first? Is this his first real win tournament-wise?
I think it's his first tournament win. I think the other times he's gotten 2nd, he's lost to Foxy, and then he finally overcame Foxy in the set at Celtic. So this is his first win, yeah.
Wow, that's huge for him then. Video Games Yo, I know he's going to be at UFA as well. I actually don't know if he's going to be at UFA anymore because no, never mind. It's a prize pot, right? So he still has a reason to go to UFA because UFA is the next Intercontinental offline event. But obviously the prize of getting you to the finals is huge for that too. But UFA actually has a generous prize pot as well behind it, which is really cool. But Video Games Yo winning today over Dizzy. It says 3-2 here, but it was 3. It says 3-1 here, but it was 3-2. It was super close. Reset point or tournament win point. It was going to be one or the other. Of course, Dizzy. Sad to see. I never like seeing Dizzy lose. You know, Dizzy's one of the boys. But you know, Did well today. Of course, we'll be seeing him in the future in pro competition events. Of course, Dizzy is still on that pro competition grind. But Video Games Yo is the man of the hour with that Nightwolf. He was saying for weeks, I can't wait for Nightwolf to be legal. I'm going to bring out Nightwolf. Using it to, of course, win the run back against Asadamasa, who defeated him last week. Really, now Nightwolf is legal. I am afraid for the community now that Video Games Yo and his Nightwolf has been unleashed. I dread to think what is going to be his next performance if this is anything to go by. But that does mean, unfortunately, that it is the end of the show. Video Games Yo wins, and we'll be seeing him at DreamHack Winter at the Intercontinental Finals. But it's been a pleasure, Falcon. I've really enjoyed this. How have you found this experience?
It's been great, honestly. You know, being able to commentate such high level matches, doing it alongside a great caster such as yourself, and
thanks,
just
man.
doing it. And just doing it alongside the, you know, just watching these games and having like the, you know, the UK top 3. We can't really be biased, but we're happy to see, you know, people that we see all the time actually make it into this upper echelon. Yeah,
I'm horribly biased and corrupt. I can't help it at this point. But I know what you mean, right? Seeing the UK,
yeah. It's kind of just like a UK pride thing, really. It's good for the community as a whole. Seeing some new faces like Inacian come into the fray as well, and Juicy Jones, Stuntman Mike. Yeah, I'm just excited for the future life of competitive NetherRealm games and Mortal Kombat.
But yeah, no, absolutely. And this game is still less than half a year old, so there is still plenty of opportunities to see where this game goes. But for now, my friends, we must call it a day. I want to say thank you to all of you at home for watching. I hope you had fun. I know we certainly did. Shouts to the players for making it this far and putting on such a good show. Shout out to production and all the admins behind the scenes. Can't happen without you guys. I really appreciate you guys putting in your graft and your time. But we're going to call it a day, my friends. We will see you next time on the channel with competitive Mortal Kombat 11. Thank you very much, and peace out.
See you later.